Hello, FNAFers! The spring has come, and so did FNAF 4 Analysis Part 2. And today I'm joined by my fellow FNAF tubers, Libra.
What's up?
Cheeda. Is he there?
Hey!
Cheeda.
Drazarus.
Hey, what's up? I am here.
Flipside.
Howdy, howdy.
Glycan.
Hello, hello.
And Krakoa? Did I say it this time right?
Hello, Saiyan monkeys.
You said it right, yeah.
Okay, today we have our new pin board, which let me activate it on the stream. Here we go. With everything that we'll hopefully talk about this stream. Now that we started the stream, let's actually all hear how we sound on the stream before we talk again. Let me put the link in the chat, I guess, then.
El Linko, por favor. Yeah. Thank you.
Now let me listen, and you should listen too and tell me your opinion how it sounds. Yeah, I think it sounds good.
Hearing myself.
Oh, well.
Am I audible on the stream?
I think you're all good.
Monkeys.
Right?
Hello, Saiyan
Hello.
And I think the only problem is it might be a bit laggy. Or is it only on my side?
I can kind of hear him. Yeah, you're right, it's a little bit laggy.
I was able to hear him.
Does anybody know how to make me not make it laggy? Or I guess we can go with that. I mean, the visuals are not that important here.
Yep, it works. I can hear myself. Yay! Okay.
Okay, so
Let's
shall
do
we
it.
start then?
Yeah, let's do it.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, so last time, I want to talk first about things that aren't on the spin board that we did not talk about last times. One of those is we kind of talked about the FNAF 3 fire on the first ever stream on the Libra's channel, but like, can you mute while you're not talking because we can hear some people behind you. So last time we talked about a little bit about fire on the FNAF 3 stream, but we did not mention one thing I always thought about it, and specifically that is, well, the night that the fire happens is called Nightmare, and I always saw that as we are actually at home having a nightmare of us playing one of the nights, but in real life the fire is actually happening because we know that the fire happened overnight, but we don't see the fire. Well, like, we know that, well, we don't see it because, well, Scott was just lazy to make it fiery on the night 5 or 6, I think 6. But what if that is a nightmare, that is an actual nightmare, and that's why it's called Nightmare, and like in real life it is burning, but we don't see burning because we are actually having a nightmare and we are not actually at the restaurant, at the Fazbear fights, I mean, while it's all happening. What do you all think?
I kind of doubt that.
Hold on. Say, what was that last part?
So on the Nightmare night in FNAF 6, we are not in the pizzeria, in the Fazbear fights. We are having a nightmare, and that's why we don't see fire while we are playing, even though the restaurant burned down overnight. That's a theory.
Well, yeah.
Very interesting. I've never thought about why that night's called Nightmare.
Like,
I feel
logically,
like,
it's just very hard. That's why it's called Nightmare.
Yeah,
And we
that's
don't
why
see
fire's
fire
Nightmare.
because Scott was just lazy to do fire, just like with the kitchen in FNAF 1. But I
think, yeah, I was like, it might be another kitchen situation where Scott's just, saving time.
But still, it's an interesting thing to think about, that it's called a nightmare and we don't see fire, so we might be staying at home having a nightmare of us playing a regular night, while in real life it is actually burning there. Just a theory.
Oh, Libra, Libra, what were you saying? Sorry.
Oh, I literally all I said was I just think it might just because it's a hard night. You just called it that.
I agree.
thing about nightmare. It's just because isn't there a nightmare in FNAF 4 and 3?
Yeah, but it's not
there's-
makes sense because it's like everything about the nightmare.
Well, yeah, it's a literal nightmare too. Canonically.
In FNAF 4, it seems like that's like specifically because that's the night that like the nightmare character shows up. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was one thing I wanted to talk about, and it seems like nobody agrees on that theory here. And the second thing I wanted to talk about FNAF 3 is Phantom Mangle. And like back in the day, so it's nothing super like back in the day. Basically, there was a theory going around that Phantom Mangle that we see on cameras is actually not a phantom and a real burned down Mangle. And
How is that possible?
like people were claiming there is a reflection of the phantom on the floor, and that's why this specific Mangle is real, while the one that shows up in the office is a phantom, and etc. Nothing really supports it now. Like there haven't been
Feel like
any
that's a-
evidence and everything going
like
against that, but it's an interesting point, really.
I think
Crack-
back in the day,
crack
part of
theory?
that-
What?
I think back in the day, part of that was that there was no Phantom Mangle in the extras for some reason. Like Scott just felt the need to not do that. Instead, he just put
Yeah.
Springtrap twice. I don't know why.
That's probably because like in the lighting from Mangle is not really that great anyway. You can't really see him.
Yeah,
The reflections in the water on the floor.
Phantom Puppet also has a reflection.
He's exactly right.
wait,
Well, that-
no,
Is that okay? Speaking of Phantom Puppet, there is
Puppet don't
some
have
people
that
have reason to believe that some people think that the puppet on the camera is the actual puppet.
yeah, that is the real puppet. She
I do
doesn't
think it's
look
the
like
actual
it.
Because of
She
the
looks
reflection
nothing
of the
like a
water.
phantom. And she looks
Yeah,
nothing like a
that's
Like
phantom.
his Phantom Puppet
exactly.
like showed immediately. When
But
he
then
went
that
in.
begs the question: how is like she doing the Phantom Puppet shit, right?
I think it just triggers a like you see the actual puppet.
Like
but,
an
like,
e-
triggers
Oh,
your-
we know the puppet can trigger hallucinations too in the past games.
To be honest,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
And it's also, if we go with the logic, like, well, is someone implying what we found with the Phantoms are somewhat based on your past, that would imply the character has a past with the puppet and seeing her
It
initiate.
says some-
Was that just more of Henry, but you could also argue with Mike if it's Mike Fritz, but Henry, for example, fit really well.
Mike Fritz, yes.
Like, I believe Puppet is most definitely real there, because, like, unlike other Phantoms, we see Puppet as normal there, and we see her reflections, while other Phantoms don't really have a reflection unless we theorize that, yes?
Sorry to totally just take us into FNAF 4 here, but the nightmares actually have reflections on the windows in the hallway.
Well,
Well, then Didophobia says the nightmares are real.
I'm actually a believer of that too. I just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, well,
Okay, all right.
yeah, like,
widely considered nightmares.
but like,
Thank you for that.
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, to be fair, yeah, nightmares are, but like, also, there's theory that the nightmares we see in FNAF 4 are specifically Michael's nightmare, and like, he can imagine reflections in his nightmare, and then also, if it's in the case of actually, like, the animatronics having nightmares, illusion discs having reflections or gas having reflection is kind of weird, but it could in theory work. But like,
Yeah.
just in FNAF 3, I don't think see any reflection of any other Phantom except real Puppet, and she
The real
looks real.
puppet, yeah. Not even fun fact, I actually went in to look for this. Not even Phantom Freddy has reflection.
Yeah, so like,
The interesting thing about the puppet, about like them actually being in Fazbear's Sprite, I don't want to talk about FNAF 6 too much, but so you notice how like if that is really the puppet, that actually can correspond with FNAF 6. So you know the puppet's still around.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
well,
right.
that's
It actually
actually
works.
what people theorized back in the day
Yeah, but
was the endings,
the
that
interesting-
Puppet
yeah,
and
the
Springtrap
interesting-
survived.
The interesting thing about that is, so in FNAF 3, after the fire, you know, we are told that things will be sold at public auction post-fire, right? Things that were discovered and
Yes.
found at the fire site. Anyway, so in FNAF 6, when you find Lefty, you can actually find him in a catalog specifically called Rare Finds and Auctions. So I'm wondering if maybe Lefty like went to, if the puppet was at Fazbear's Sprite, he went to
Oh,
Fazbear's
wait.
Fire, and he
He's
actually
cooking here.
found him, he was
I
found,
love this
he was
idea.
found in an auction.
That's true.
Henry
He's
bought
all-
something out.
he's cooking.
Henry
No,
Henry
you
bought
cooked.
stuff from
He's
the auction.
cooking. He's cooking. He could have. Wait a minute. No. Didn't Henry build Lefty himself?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that like Lefty was.
okay. Oh,
like,
my bad.
I'm saying that Lefty went to maybe Fazbear's Sprite. And
Is that where he got the puppet from?
The ruins, and he found the puppet in those ruins, and he like encapsulated the puppet, and then maybe like in the depending on like whether or not Lefty was either like salvaged canonically or either he was just bought. Like if you buy him canonically, like he was found at that auction at Fazbear's Sprite. Maybe they discovered like, oh, the heck, where's this weird bear? Why is this there?
It's also possible Henry just bought him from the
There's
auction.
also.
Like,
There's also. Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say that.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of ways to go. This one thing you brought up made me realize that we got to account is the context when FNAF came out. It was meant to be the finale of the original story of the games before FNAF 4, and in there the whole marketing was like only one character's around. All the marketing like only one remains. 30 years later, I remain. I'm still here. So the entire idea is that everyone else is gone, but the purple guy is still here. In the game that's what's displayed. You just see the purple guy in Springtrap. The secret though, the reveal is he's actually not alone. The puppet's around. That's why you see her in the gameplay, and why hers the only mask to fall down slower. And why even in things like in Characters Wikipedia, in reference to before FNAF 6, it says the puppet linked behind because souls got still trapped in mechanical prisons. So that would imply that by the events of FNAF 3, the other souls were gone. And it's only the puppet and Springtrap. And that goes into like a more MCI discussion, like how
Yeah, I was gonna say
after
that.
FNAF 3.
Yeah, that goes into multiple MCI
I
and
think
stuff.
they came back after FNAF 3, but it goes into that discussion. But as an important thing like, to think about is that at the time, at the very least, the souls meant to be at peace by the time of FNAF 3. Well, I'm glad we're
Wasn't there
discussing
something
FNAF
about
6.
like a music box?
Hold on. Speaking of which,
Wasn't there something with a was something soothing in the Lefty thing that basically
Yes.
lured the
yes,
puppet
the
in?
lullaby.
With-
Yes, I was actually
Yeah,
gonna talk about
lullaby.
that. So Actually, you know what? I have a theory based on that, a mini theory, kind of, and it has to do with the lullaby. So I have this theory going around that essentially.
Is that?
Just got murdered, man.
Yeah, the theory was too.
He was silenced.
Not like that theory.
Just
Someone did
die
not
in
like that theory.
mid-sentence.
I think it was cooking. Someone did not like that theory.
He was
Okay,
cooking
sorry.
up
Okay, so
thought you were
here, wait, let me go into the DMs because that's where I put it. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing this. Hold on.
Hey, I'm glad we're all discussing FNAF 6 because it's actually 223 today, February.
Oh my God, it's 223. Let's go.
I'm glad you all realized what that was.
Speaking of that, I think the Henry speech was recorded in 2023, but the actual gameplay for FNAF 6 takes place year or so later.
Ooh, that is a really good idea.
That's interesting. How did you come to that?
There's like good threads out there, but it's like a lot of threads like talking about, hey, FNAF is to take place during the October Halloween season, and even what we found even kind of says that explicitly.
I mean,
And you have
it's a
and you have
house.
in FNAF 6 also is applied to take place around October Halloween. It's Spookfest, blah blah, anniversary of Charlie's death.
Oh
So
my
this,
God.
so it would be impossible just logistically for both to happen the same year Halloween. Alongside that, you could point out that HR223 is a recording date. It's basically after FNAF 3, something happened that caused Henry to figure out what's going on. He recorded the speech, and now you're seeing the culmination of what happened. And even in FNAF 6, it says things have been trying to get into the location for a long while, for weeks, I think even months. So the place had been open for a long period of time. And Henry's been trying to do his plan. So it makes sense that it's like a year or two later, like 2025, 2026,
Real quick add-on to that. Actually, if you do them, I believe if you do the math with the lawsuits you can get in the game, depending on how canonicals there are. Like,
I
it
found a
actually
theory.
it implies that the restaurant might have been like actually a thing for like at least like 10 months.
All right, I got the theory. It's actually I'm building off of someone else's idea. But because I thought it was really interesting. So basically, you know how Jake felt tired and worn out when he got the memory with his father before he died? No. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
somewhat.
And you know how Mike he goes to sleep in the movie to relive the memories of Garrett?
Yeah.
And you know how Sam in Soundophobia is put in like a state of trance / like dormancy with his father and stuff like that before he dies and stuff? And then, all right, now take that. And there's not always music involved, but in Ultimate Custom Night, you have to keep the puppet like
Oh, wow,
asleep,
this stream is
put to
very
sleep by the
laggy.
music box, right? And she's implied to be dreaming due to the dream wand and Lefty's blueprints. So I believe that music it can allow spirits to enter a happiest state through a state of trance / dormancy, and that's done through music, and they relive memories. This also happened in the novels with Charlie and Henry. Nah, I don't know. It's just kind of spitballing, but yeah. So yeah. Sounds like a cool idea. Music can like soothe the spirits and put them in a temporary happiest day, kind of thing.
It might have been a source of inspiration.
But hey,
Yeah, it was Tux.
the stream is a bit laggy chappy. I like that.
As in,
Like a chappy, I like that.
maybe the
you
puppet in particular.
So, I need
Spring, do
to.
you think maybe we should
Is the
restart?
stream choppy? Let me see if it's choppy on my end. Chat. Is the stream choppy, chat? Put a 1 in the chat if it's choppy. Put a 2 if
Everybody's
it's
saying
not.
that, so I
Chat
think it
says it's
is.
so laggy.
Oh, I'm talking about, yeah, I'm also streaming this on my end.
Is there any way
let's
to
see,
make
yeah.
it not
Hey,
choppy?
what's your TikTok?
Hey, yo,
I'll put it, I'll put it in
Spring.
the chat.
So what you could do is maybe it's your bandwidth.
I think
So
it's the same as my YouTube channel. No, it's this.
What?
make sure it could be your bandwidth, like you have too much stuff open. So make sure the only thing you have open is something you need for the stream, right? Say a browser or Discord.
Oh yeah, close everything except the stuff you need for the stream.
Well, I have only the things that I need for the stream right now. Only Discord, Chrome, which I show the images on the stream that we're talking about, OBS itself, and the thing that animates my character.
We could always just try restart.
What just happened? Okay, there we go.
Let
My
me see
computer
what
just- my
happens
computer
if
just-
I just...
Hey, look at that. That Shadow Libra just joined my stream.
Let
Hey,
me just
mysterious
see.
stranger.
Let me see if I
How does
just.
the audio sound on the TikTok?
Let me see
Oh, a
what
bunch of
happens
people are
if I
joining
just
us.
hide everybody, like all the images on the. Maybe it's just because we have a lot of a lot of people on the visuals. Maybe that's why. Let me see if that, like, if hiding them does anything. Real quick.
Yeah, because it sounds fine during the beginning, but it just seems like it gets increasingly super choppy as it goes on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Well, the stream is a bit behind too, so I need to see if it works.
Is your internet fine?
What?
Is your internet connection okay? Like your ping?
Let me check my ping, I guess. So like, can I just ping test on the browser and see what it is? Last time it went fine, so maybe just because of how many people on the stream are, or something like that. I don't know.
I blame the mimic.
I don't think view.
Play my lights.
We lost him.
You got taken out. He's dead.
So
We're
it says
cooking so
my
much that we had
download
to
speed
take him out.
is 30 MB, 30.98 MB, 9 ms ping, and 1210 MB upload speed.
And my light is flickering bad in my room. Yeah, it feels like it's gonna go out.
Oh no.
It's the clown
Oh
attack.
my god, they killed my light source! You
It's the-
bastard!
It's the clown attack.
Can anybody see if how the stream is right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Wait a minute, why can I hear the stream?
Said no audio.
I'm getting no audio on my end.
Does anyone else have the
Yeah.
stream up?
Yeah, I have the stream up right now. I'm getting no audio on my end.
Pull it up myself.
I wonder.
Yeah, no audio. either.
Well, I don't know what's going on with the audio. Oh, here we go.
Do you think
Wait,
Oh, the audio.
maybe we should?
Ooh,
Oh, that's
stranger.
Is it better?
the audio is better.
I hear it.
Oh wait, now I hear it.
Let me see
what happens if I
All I did is close the folder, I think, back then. Wait, let
Yeah,
me.
it sounds. It doesn't sound as choppy. The audio is back and it's not as choppy. So it's spread in.
Okay, let
Let's
me.
Well,
hurry.
if it's fine now, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Let
I
me
don't
just
know.
see how it works if I turn on the visuals again. So right
Jesus Christ.
Language.
now. Maybe it's just.
My goodness gracious.
There we go.
I appreciate it.
There we go.
It's like.
All right, we're back.
Yeah,
It's
I was
like
in the middle.
it's
of
like 5
reading
days.
Diddlephobia mystery stuff.
Stuck.
What?
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 You're reading the book about Rory Afton, the
Rory
son-
Afton.
What are you doing?
Rory
Not the midnight
Afton.
motorist Rory Afton.
Dude, I
I
still
was like-
remember like the
I was-
day for the last. Sorry for cutting you off. The first 24 hours that book came out, everyone thought it solved Midnight Motors.
Dude, like
did not.
I wasn't there when the book came out, but I was looking through history, and I saw
my
all
God.
these posts. It's like, wait, why are people
saw
saying this
all
solve
these
Midnight
tweets.
Motors?
I saw all these tweets saying the amount of people that were like hating on Afton and like thinking he was a real person and stuff. It was so funny. I'm gonna send some tweets in the chat. You gotta see these. These are hilarious.
I
Oh,
decided
man.
I wanted to reread it, and then like I got pinged by Flipside, and I was like, oh shoot, that's right.
That is right.
Wait, what did I do?
You pinged
You
me.
flipped
You
aside.
killed, you killed 5 children.
Jesus.
Why'd you kill those children, Flipside?
Is that TikTok friendly? I'm kidding.
I'm so out of the loop. I don't know what's happening. I was checking out the stream real quick. What did I miss? Jet Libra, what?
Damn, Glitchy Bear killed 5
When
kittens.
you pinged me to join the stream, I was in the middle of reading Didophobia.
Hey, no way, really?
Ditto media.
Didomedia. Oh, midophobia.
Did you
Oh.
read the books? Wow, nerd.
I
I
actually
read
read.
Didophobia.
Wow.
Did you think I didn't?
Imagine reading. Wow. Could not be me. Could not be me.
So how does this stream look on everybody? For everybody? Right now.
You said what?
It's a little
Fine to me.
behind. It's a little behind on my end.
It's
audio
very
sounds
behind on
better.
my end.
Yeah.
Looks fine for me. I don't know. Yeah, the audio sounds better. You just got latency, which is normal. I'm gonna send. If I can find the tweets, I'm gonna send them. These were so funny. And the fact that FNAF 4 was #1 trending that day too. How does it sound?
I wonder. Yeah, no.
Oh my god, I can hear it.
It sometimes lags.
Well, it's working at least.
But it is working.
Damn, Sunday was not the best time to do this, huh?
I have no idea what.
Oh, you don't like live stream Sundays? Stream Sundays? Streaming Sunday.
I don't know why.
Maybe there's a setting I can put on OBS so that it didn't lag so much.
No, Spencer's here.
Hey! Tell him I said hi in the chat. Yeah.
I think he can hear you.
Spencer!
Hello, man.
OBS settings for streaming in
We're having some
2020.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, Bear with us here.
Yeah,
Fazbear with us.
Fazbear with us here.
User has left the channel.
You guys, let's see.
I think it's fine though. Who really cares about latency? If it's like a couple seconds behind, I
Is it? Yeah, I don't know. Why is FNAF BV first? It doesn't make sense to me. You know what? Oh yeah, there's this guy. He proposed the idea that my victim and Charlie died on the same night, and I said, see, the issue with that is that if you believe he's the runaway, that can't work.
Do you think is that like what Hyper's always the one who asked about? Do people like what people think of that theory?
Yeah, because now that leads me to believe that he's starting to think it, which wouldn't make sense if the BV is the runaway.
Okay, so the audio sounds good enough for now, I think, on the stream. I just checked. So should we continue?
I would just
Yeah.
continue.
Hold on 1 second.
Where were we at?
We were talking about, well, we pretty much finished talking about the puppet and the phantom angle. Well, we didn't even talk about really phantom angle, but like, there's nothing
Wait, hold
really
on.
to talk about.
Before we do this, look in the chat.
Just skip ahead of FNAF 6 and call it a day.
Look in the chat. Look in the chat. Look in the chat.
Hello, I'm getting lots of buffering. Hey guys, stream must be
Ew.
super delayed.
You see what I mean? This is all that was. This
Oh,
is the day that
this chat.
Didophobia got leaked. This is the day
Oh
that
my God,
Didophobia got leaked.
fucking bro. He's dead, you mother.
FNAF fans when the villain does evil things.
FNAF fans when villain does villain things.
Yeah, got it. Ooh, baby.
How could they?
We'll get around to talking about FNAF 4 eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. What were we just talking about before the technical difficulties?
Nothing related to
These
FNAF 4.
people are typing like Didophobia is like a real thing.
This is what I mean. They're treating it like it's real. It's hilarious.
You know what? Well, actually, to gain FNAF 4, the actual topic of the stream, if you want to start with what you saw, or what you want to do, Spring?
Yeah, but first I have one more FNAF 3 thing. And
Yeah.
that is the spring lock suits. I don't think we talked about it on the first stream. Did we?
Yes.
I think we talked a little bit about it, actually.
Like, what was the spring suit accident? The multiple spring lock failure. I'm thinking
Okay,
about
now
that.
we didn't
here's
talk
my
about
take on that. I think what he meant, you could take this, there's two ways you could take this. You gotta think he meant A, like multiple spring lock suits failed at the same time, which I don't know how they would be able to tell that, or multiple spring locks went off at the same time. AKA what happened to William in the games, not the movie.
And if it was multiple simultaneous spring lock failures, there must have been a button to activate all of it.
This is gonna sound very.
Well, I mean, it would
boring,
make sense
but I
that they would
think
fail at the same
random
time,
spring
right?
lock failures happened here and there.
Oh, I know, it was a joke.
Yeah,
You
but
just
what
press
do
a
you
button
do?
and everything.
I think
Yeah.
it might have been intended to be multiple suits, but it could also be that.
But
I could
Well,
also see that many used to believe when FNAF 4 came out that like the bite was the spring lock failure, and while that wouldn't be true
Oh,
in a
yeah,
technical,
you're right.
technical sense, there was a theorist who said that they covered the spring lock they covered the bite up as a spring lock failure, not that the bite itself is a spring lock failure. I think that's
Yeah.
actually more plausible as a recontextualization.
That
as
could also work too.
the bite being recontextualized to be covered up as a spring lock failure rather than literally being.
I was thinking that, yes, there was an idea at one point that, because what I was trying to argue was that everybody saw the incident in FNAF 4, and I was assuming back then, I was theorizing in a sense, that parent would be infuriated if they saw like this, these springlock suits or whatever that looks like Fredbear roaming around Freddy's when one just literally killed a child. I feel like they would have
Exactly.
just covered up and just like, if and it says at a sister location, the only sister location we know of besides any other Freddy Fazbear's Pizza
Okay, we are
is
checking.
Fredbear's.
It's Fredbear's, right?
And the only way that can happen is if a very important thing happened, aka the bite of 83. Yes, it wasn't a spring lock failure, but they had to make it sound like it was a spring lock failure in order to not get into lawsuits or appease the parents in a sense.
And we know Fazbear, they must apparently like have a bunch of Saul Goodmans because they get away with everything.
They cut costs basically, and they basically when Fredbear shut down, the spring lock suits went with it. That's
Did
what
they
I
only
think
make
happened.
how many spring lock suits did they make? We know of 3. The one from Sister
they made
Location,
2,
Spring Bonnie, and Fredbear.
They made Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, and they possibly made Golden Freddy and maybe another version of Spring Bonnie.
Wait, hold on. Golden Freddy is Fredbear.
I know.
Freddy is Fredbear.
I know. What I'm saying is like there's Fredbear and Fredbear's, but then there's Golden Freddy at Freddy's.
And then the Sister Location Night 4 suit.
That's in Circus Baby's Pizza World, though. That's what she said about her pizzeria.
Yeah, and that begs the question: why was there only 1 Springlock suit at Circus Babies?
For me, I don't really connect that stuff to the FNAF stuff too much because I believe that the Spin-Off suits came back as kind of was supported, I think, explicitly in the new kid, that they never got fully left behind. They got upgraded over time to be more advanced, which fits with the technicians just fixing them. And while saying they're a temporary ban, like, we're taking them back, we're gonna fix them up for the time being, don't use them. I think the Spin-Lock suit in this location could literally indicate nothing because it would just mean, well, this could be an advanced Spin-Lock suit, so Circus Babies could open any point after, and it's just a better.
Yeah, at this point, I genuinely think that like the suit was there for timeline placement.
Possibility. So it's getting into Sister Location a little bit. But in my idea of when when the Circus Babies Pizza World opened, I think it was most likely before the MCI or after it. And the Springlock suits were most likely returned a little bit. If the Springlock suits were returned, that one was most likely used in some way at that location. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because the thing about the Circus Babies Pizza World is, okay, why would William build murder machines to capture children unless he had a plan for them after a specific incident? And the only way I can determine that is, well...
You're cooking. No, you're cooking here. Continue. I'm not going to build off this in a second.
So, the way I see it is, after he committed the MCI, and maybe he thought, oh, it didn't work. But, so he tried another solution, in a sense, by building another pizzeria, but he's separating from Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, in a sense, makes his own restaurant to be like a luring thing for children. Not only, but he got his child killed instead. But there is still a possibility he actually got some children, killed them. There's a possibility, we don't know. But what I'm saying is, after the MCI, maybe either it failed or succeeded and he saw something in the animatronics. Taking this idea, he starts to build a restaurant and wants to extract more kids for possible soul energy. Maybe he's trying to figure out, oh, what is this new source of ghost energy, in a sense, aka remnant, whatever. That's why he built it. And after the MCI, he's still trying to... He's still one of the #1 suspects, but he was let go, obviously. So he's taking this chance to build a restaurant, and then after that, maybe over time, even before the events of FNAF 2, he sells his company, and most likely pays off the ones that bought it, just to shut up and not talk about the hidden features. And then that's how he went to FNAF 2 and basically got his identity covered.
Where should we
Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent.
No, it was a good tangent. Oh, wait, hold on.
Shadow Libra disappeared into the shadows for now.
Oh no.
Can't believe it.
I'm not gonna lie, that tangent, it was interesting enough that it made me forget mine.
Oh man.
No, you're okay. I don't know what I was gonna say.
I completely, my words get messed up so bad, it's just like...
No, oh, there goes Libra. But yeah. Don't worry about it.
Oh, the flip side.
Oh, wait, no, that was Flipside. Gotcha.
But if it makes sense to you, then I'm glad, because my words were just spitting...
He'll be back, everyone. He said in the chat, he'll be back.
A good, yeah.
He always comes back. We know
Maybe
that.
He always...
Maybe
You see us on the
people.
flip side. You see us on the flip side.
You know, that's funny, is that he said the Terminator quote instead of the Afton one.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Wait. So let's switch it. I'll be back. Or I'll always come back.
Yeah, that was perfect.
I'll always come back.
What are your guys' best expressions of I always come back impressions?
I'll do mine.
You just heard mine.
It's gonna be the worst.
Yeah.
I always come back.
Not that bad, to be honest.
That's pretty good. All right, your turn, Spring.
I always come back. Not that bad.
There we go. Okay. All right. Cheetah.
I always come back.
There we go. Drazarus.
I'll do it again, I guess. I missed. I had to get a certain voice. Hold
Sorry, I
on.
laughed.
I always. I did it fine the first time.
You got it. You got it.
Actually,
You
you
good.
did do it the first time really good.
All right, here we go.
I
Alright,
always come
Hold on,
back.
let me drink some water.
I prefer to do the Upton voice line from the Security Breach trailer, actually.
When I first found you, you were small, pathetic, but now you are more. Are you ready?
That's very good.
My
Let me
That was like a voice
so
line.
it's
Let me do mine.
Hey, Flipside.
No, actually, that Flipside's here. Flipside, do your I always come back impression.
No.
You
No,
literally do the voice you
Always
have to
come
do.
back.
I am not doing the Springtrap.
Okay, well,
Yes,
let me
Flipside,
do my.
do it.
Well, let me do my.
Do the thing, Flipside, do the
Security
thing.
Breach,
Do the thing.
monologue.
He said the thing.
Flying Bart.
I hate you guys.
Get her on.
I'm gonna do my.
Get her on.
I'm gonna do mine. Security Breach of the monologue. When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small, pathetic. But now you are more. Are you ready? Not that bad.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank that
That's
can
very
inflate
good.
helium balloons right at her fingertips. She can even dispense ice cream.
unfortunately my Afton voice kind of sounds like
I'll catch you, gadget.
Oh my god. That's like if Afton smoked 10 cigarettes a day. He's like, hey, Michael, you're gonna have to go down to your sister. Make sure you put her back together. Oh, dude, the cut one is my favorite. The one that, did you hear the one that was cut? It goes like this. The cut pig patch voice line. It was perfect, dude. It's perfectly Andrew. Listen to this. Wait, hold on, let me get the script. There we go. All right.
It's perfect like Mike UCN is what it is.
Have you begun to realize where you are yet and who I am? Or are you still so delirious that you still think you're a night guard? You'll understand. And even if you don't, it doesn't matter to me either way.
Is that real?
Yeah, it was cut. It was cut.
shoot.
Because people would have believed Mike.
Flipside's right.
I would have
That is
believed
my
that, yeah.
It-
They would have
it's-
believed Mike
it's-
UCN.
Here's the thing.
Mike
I feel like Scott wanted people to be split between being Michael William. That's why I feel like the lines were weird. Like you had lines where it's like
Although,
you had lines
yeah.
that do not make sense for William. There are lines that do not make sense for William. Like in fact,
but
stuff
there are
like
lines that don't make sense for Michael. He hasn't killed anybody.
well, technically he did kill the bike victim. That's why people are like. That's why people are like, hey, the one should not kill can mean one of many or a singular person. So I feel like what
I
Scott,
guess.
I feel like Scott wanted to do is have it kind of be like, at least when the game came out, so it could be either Mike or, William. That's how I feel. It's like it's kind of like it could be either or, and then he settled on William.
Can I do my oh yeah.
I would just take the visuals off the screen. Honestly, it seems like those are like really causing it.
It might be the visuals.
I think it's a genuine thing. It's the visuals because it seems like after we turned it off, took it off, we could hear ourselves so much better. Because I've been
We've finished? Have we finished FNAF 3? Because I'm ready for FNAF 4.
I get into the what you saw thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he saw. Well, it could be either
The
things.
MCI.
Hey.
Yeah, it could. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry, it went
Drazarus
sound
is,
like.
Didn't he die 2 years before that?
MCI
No,
83.
it happened before.
Drazarus
What?
believes MCI.
What?
I
Yeah,
joined the first
yeah,
time.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that kind of broke my brain a little bit. I think he saw. There's a kind of things he could have seen someone getting put into a suit. He could have seen just the nightmares. See, that's an
Yeah.
interesting one. Yeah, he could have seen Shadow
Charlie's
Freddy.
death.
He could have seen Charlie's death. He could have seen like whatever. But yeah, could be either one of those four.
I think
The important thing about that area is it seems to be, in my opinion, I don't know about anyone else's, but it mostly references Fredbears, and everything's mostly talked about around Fredbears. Don't you remember what you saw? Is like, wait, what are you saying? You saw something like near the stage or something, and then it's you know what if he catches you, like, okay, so there could be many ways we can interpret that. Back
The
then, this
nightmares?
was MCI 83. Back, this would explain why he has to run away, because, well, he's gonna be caught by a giant yellow bear and a man in a furry suit. Or it's something else. Maybe because if it was a Springlock incident, or if it was a man in a suit, yeah, I don't think you can exactly. Well, I'm not a child. I'm a adult, but my point is, like, can you really misinterpret that as a child? Like,
Yes.
just being Springlock? Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah,
you
that
can't
makes sense.
misinterpret any of that. To be honest, you can misinterpret a murder, right? Because I don't want to go on a tangent, but to say, for example, under MCI, by MCI, he misinterprets the man in the suit as the character, the same way the kids misinterpret William as like the yellow rabbit, getting the people messed up, right? Blondie knows who Afton is, but doesn't recognize Yellow Rabbit is Afton. Stuff like that.
okay, guys, I
Yeah.
turned off pretty much everything except just the static imagery and just put our Discord, us tagging on Discord instead of our tagging sprites. And let's see if that will make it any better.
Okay.
We're currently losing audio YouTube wise.
I was gonna say Flipside. Is there audio?
There
Not
is not
me.
audio on my end that I can hear.
Let me hear.
And people in the chat are saying they can't hear either.
Uh-oh. Have we finished FNAF 3? Oh, there's my really bad voice.
Sometimes I
I'm gonna
sound
test
like
real
a
quick to see
child.
if I can hear it.
I think it's better now.
Some people
Hang on,
say
let
I
me
sound like
let me deafen and see if I can hear it.
Some people say I sound like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think it's fixed.
Roman Reigns, really?
Yeah, Roman Reigns. You guys hear Roman Reigns? I don't hear Roman Reigns. Chat, what do you
No.
think? Let's ask TikTok. TikTok chat, you guys think I sound like Roman Reigns?
I hear a normal person.
Okay, I think it's. I think
They're
it's
saying
good,
no.
pretty much.
Yeah, that guy was tripping.
He was tripping hard on the WWE copium.
Mike
Okay.
trip.
Or the Faz
Okay,
trip.
I think
So,
Coca-Cola. How you pronounce it? Coca-Cola?
Crack
Rock
Coca-Cola?
Cola. God damn it.
Krakatawa.
I have
What's up?
I'm sorry, I have a speech impediment, so if I mispronounce it, it's not my fault.
It's all good. What is it,
I get
crack?
this
Real
all
quick?
the time.
real quick update on the stream. Real quick
Oh, yeah.
update on the stream. The audio sounds okay, I think now. I can hear it. It sounds not choppy, so I think
Then
if
we
we
should
just continue like this, it should be good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's try that.
So I think a good thing to ask is Coca-Cola. Do you was there anything else you were going to say? Because I know you believe he saw Charlie's death. Because if you're done, I actually
Hey, I do
give,
too.
I will give my dissertation on Bifid and Solid MCI once you're done.
Wait
So
a
I'm not
minute.
just
Are you
saying
MCI 83?
Charlie's death,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do believe
Interesting.
that, but I'm saying, like, there are different. So depending on what you think is what happened at Fredbear's in particular, because it feels like everything's pointing towards him seeing something at Fredbear's rather than Freddy's. Whatever you want to believe, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, that's something to really put into perspective, I guess.
Okay, so
But
what
go
do
ahead.
you guys think of the theory that crying child saw Elizabeth's death?
That's
The classic one.
Elizabeth's death or Charlie's death?
Elizabeth's death.
Elizabeth's death. I have a specific view on that.
So like back in the day,
Mm.
people theorized that he saw Elizabeth's death, and that's why he saw Nightmare Fredbear and
Yeah.
Nightmare having stomachs, like the
Yeah,
stomach jaws,
yeah.
because he saw Elizabeth get eaten by Baby, by her stomach.
Wasn't Circus Baby?
For-
Circus
Makes
Baby
sense.
doesn't open until
Yeah, he saw
Freddy's
Baby
closes.
kill someone and got scared
for
of
me,
Fredbear.
for me, it has to do with this. It's personally, I don't believe that Elizabeth died during the bite, but before I got the bite. But also, it just for me, it's like I get the evidence, but for me, it's just there's a few issues with that. Like for one, a specific detail that Baby points out when she tells the story of how she captured Elizabeth
Yeah.
and killed her was that like there was no one else in the room. She specifically was always acutely aware of how many children there were in the room. So I don't see a possible way that bite
Yeah.
victim like.
But
would have been
maybe
in the room
he
when she
wasn't
did
in
it.
a room. Maybe he was just peeking out from a door, like into a door
I still-
slit or
yeah,
something
but-
like that.
I still feel like she would have noticed. Like I think she had like a sensor for it. But even then, it's like it kind of relies on by victim dreamer, which I'm personally not.
Ooh,
and
BB,
but-
isn't that debunked?
But I personally don't think it's the storyline of the game. But at anything too, it's just like even if that was his dreams, like I don't know why he'd be having a nightmare about like he specifically seems scared of Fredbear and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know why I feel like he'd be having a nightmare about Baby with a stomach mouth if he was like if that's what the thing that triggered his nightmares. You know what I mean? Like it just
That's a
like
great
why
point.
and it's only with Fredbear too. It's not like any other character. So it's like it just seems like if that's the weird thing, if that was the thing that triggered those sort of dreams and nightmares of like the stomach mouths, I just don't see the
Yeah.
correlation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The weird thing there is that also, like, I know some people don't really care about this, but like I care about the context of the game, and it's like there's no way it could have been Baby because Baby wasn't a thing until this location, so it would have to be a retcon from the original idea he had, unless he just put in a mystery, said there was an answer to it, but then lied. It's like no, he didn't lie.
Who do
I
we think is having the nightmares?
Mike,
I personally think
Well,
it's
Mike,
It's pretty much
everyone here thinks it's
confirmed
Mike.
because
everyone
of the
thinks it's
law.
Mike. There's no point in
think
discussing
that
that.
might be-
Everyone
that
thinks
might
here is
be-
Mike.
Yeah, that might be like is that the most like agreed upon theory
I
in the
think-
community
I think a lot
as
of
a
people,
whole?
I think now a lot of people do think it's Mike,
Top
but
five.
there are plenty of people who think that it is also. Some people think it's Mike and bite victim. I don't personally lean towards that, but I see why.
Most people think
I don't
BV
know.
Dreamer or Mike Victim.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
be-
most
even they
people that
even
are-
they think
yeah.
it's Mike. Even they think
Yeah,
it's Mike.
they think it's Mike. It's just
They
the
just
wrong-
think
You know,
the way
okay.
they
a lot
interpret
of
it, the way
people
they
think
interpret it is
it's-
very fair. Is that they take a lot of the evidence that you're from the bystanders perspective, but also take account the Mike evidence and they combine it. It's a very fair conclusion to make,
Yeah,
even if there is evidence
character
to
encyclopedia
think
doesn't
differently.
help.
Yeah.
A
No,
lot of people who believe.
I am the outlier though. Should I explain why I think he saw the MCI?
Sure.
Really quick. Let's
Oh,
bring
yeah.
talk.
Sure.
Let's bring talk real quick. Just let him
Oh.
talk. He was trying to
I just wanted to say, a lot of people who believe BV victim, like tend to just not know about much evidence about Mike victim, Mike Dreamer, because so like for some time I was back in the day, like in 2019, 2020, I believe BV Dreamer, but just because I kind of like didn't like. Maybe I did know about the logbook drawing of Nightmare Fredbear, but like I just did not think about it, or just like maybe forgot about it or something. But like that's the main reason that convinced me that into Mike Dreamer and forget about BV Dreamer. So like, and I feel like that's a case for a lot of people who believe BV Dreamer, that they just
I feel like even after the movie though.
yeah.
Yeah, the movie kind of was a nail in the coffin for me. It's like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, the movie pretty much confirmed it.
Like he's literally sleeping at Freddy's, having
And
nightmares.
then having dreams about the past.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's
Related to
dreaming.
his
I don't
brother.
think Mike is even dreaming FNAF 4. So I think it's just all just
I might be on
hallucinations.
Graz's side here.
Hallucinations?
Hallucinations, like
Okay,
with the
someone
gas.
here wanted to say about him seeing the MCI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys wanted to talk
so
about MCI
the
briefly.
quick thing is I will say, and I don't think being Fredbear's really matters all too much. It's not something to ignore, but I don't think it matters because Fredbear's is connected to Freddy's. Whether or not you believe they're coexisting, whether or not you believe if it came phrased by the events of FNAF 4, which is a very valid theory that is very old and is even somewhat validated by Into the Pit, the game. But regardless of who you believe, Fredbear's is associated with Freddy's, right? If there was a mass murder took place event at Disney World, the rumors and legends would spread to Disneyland. So it does affect and spread to the others, right? So I don't think that affects it all too much. And I would also connect it back to Stage 01 in FNAF 3, where it's Fredbear, how you interpret your Fredbear or Spring Bonnie takes a kid from the stage area. And if these are the Crying Child's memories, he has a memory of being scared of a Fredbear character by the stage. So I would connect to that as well. He's particularly afraid of the stage and Fredbear taking a kid from it. But regardless of that, you got into FNAF 4 with the mindset this game was marketed as the final chapter to the original story of 1 to 3. And 1 to 3's story is undeniably just about the MCI. It's everything about the MCI, the murder kids, and the puppet. Football Guy was an antagonist, but he was not just prime character who was so active in everything that was going on. He was just the killer of the kids who got what he deserved in the 3rd game. So in the 4th game, which is set to be the final chapter of that story, we know Scott clarifies the past story, is going to be about those kids. It's going to be about those murdered kids and what happens. And the main lingering mysteries from FNAF 3 was the puppet and Golden Freddy, and what Happiest Day was. So when you go into FNAF 4, you have to have that mindset. It necessitates by de facto, like I think confirmed, the game involves those kids, not in a foreshadowing in any sense at all. Because that would be very weird, and it disconnects it, if the game was the final chapter, no more games after that, what would be the point? So when you see in that game, it starts out, the first thing you see is a countdown to the party. You have a kid who's always connected to Puppet and Golden Freddy. Distinct connections to Golden Freddy. He's connected to the Puppet, same way the Puppet was connected to Golden Freddy in the previous games. Puppet did Happiest Day for Golden Freddy. You have this character, in fact, you have the nicest cutscene, right? People talk about the crying puppet, takes the place, parallels. Very connective characters that really would feel like they're trying to explain the Puppet and Golden Freddy from the 3rd game, sorry. So when you have that, and you have references to the MCI, which, mind you, the only way those rumors will come to exist is the MCI, is the exact rumors that do spawn from the event. When they come to life at night, they hide your body and never tell anyone. You can't just say foreshadowing, because it was an in-universe reason for why the rumors exist. And they were not just, it'd be very really weird storytelling if a girl just happened to make perfect rumors that something that only particularly happened after the murders occurred. Alongside the shadows on the wall being purple shadows. These, in the past couple games, purple was synonymous with Purple Guy. FNAF 2 was going to introduce Purple Shadow Freddy, which was Purple Guy, right? Yellow suit used in the back, Freaky used it, murdered the kids, Purple Golden Freddy, like, come on. And for that 3, you had Stage 01, the glitch minigame, where Shadow Bonnie starts there as a purple version of Spring Bonnie. So it was clearly meant to connect to William using those suits. And in that minigame, they're depicted as purple, and Scott's done black shadows before, so the purple is meant to connect us to them. So it was seen to symbolize him using the purple suits. The yellow suits. And not only that, it all comes right after the other. I'm a little bit messy right now, but my voice is kind of tired. You have don't remember what you saw, you have remember he catches you, remember he in the Fredbear suit, very familiar, like a reverse version of what the kids think when they mistake William, the yellow rabbit. It's like an opposite, where he's mistaking the man in the suit for the character, while for the kids it's Lou, the exact opposite, when they're dead. So that happens, you go to the right, you see the purple shadows on the wall, you go back, you see William put a suit on someone. If you try all 3 together, you can literally combine it as man in yellow suit puts purple man in yellow suit puts people in suit. Like, you can connect all 3 of those things because they're right after the other together, and you get that overall conclusion. And then you get the next minigame, the rumors, the 4th minigame. I'm trying to go through all of it just so I don't miss anything. you have the back room. You're seeing the back room. You're seeing the what looks like to be hair coming out of it, but it's not hair. It's wires. But the game has an idea of like the mind of the child. What is he seeing from his perspective? And from his perspective, it looks like hair. That's why he's so scared of an empty Fredbear suit that looks like there's hair coming out of him, because it reminds him of something. He recognizes what it's like. And that would only make sense if it's about the MCI. And then you have the "These are my friends" stuff. That the spirit at the end, I do think very solidly spirit says, "We are still your friends." And when all the other ones are gone, it switches to the singular I am pronoun. I'm still here. That would only make sense if that is multiple spirits all comforting at the same time before only one remained.
Why?
The plush spirit. Why? Because they're comforting their friend. The same way in the movie, Abby says to the classics, they're my friends. These are my friends. Uses the exact same language, and these are real spirits.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I like this.
In fact, in the movie, the spirits are in Abby's Mike's house. They interact with her all the time, long before the movie ever started. They're her friends, literally her friends. She's like a bite victim character, and uses the same terminology. They chill in the house. They even invade her dreams in the novelization. And this is very similar to how bite victim treat plastic plushies as if they're friends, as if they're people, and they appear there in his mind as if they represent someone.
Okay. That was very long.
It was a bit messy. It was a bit messy, but I wanted to lay all that out because I feel like a lot of people just forgotten it.
You mentioned the stage 1 kid being lured by Springborn or Freddy. Some people theorize that it was Andrew who was lured away, and he was the
Are you serious? Wait. You're
No.
joking. You're joking.
hell no!
Oh,
That's
hell.
what I. That's what I heard.
Andrew first, Andrew
and
first,
they-
I hated.
And they also said that. Also, some people said that the hair sticking out of the Fredbear suit is
it's also Andrew.
is
Oh my
like
God.
Andrew's curly black hair pinging out
Oh
of the
my
Fredbear
God.
suit in the new kid or something like that.
We're going golden. Andrew.
There's a small,
Well,
there's a small issue with that, and it doesn't even have to do with Golden Andrew. That hair is brown.
The thing's brown.
That hair is brown. Andrew has black
That hair ain't curly, it's brown.
That hair ain't Kurt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. Anyways,
so
I
If
think
there was a little body in there, it would be like the 5th kid. But I doubt it's a full body.
okay.
I
So
doubt it's a body because it's at Fredbear's. But yeah, I know what you mean.
now that we talked about the don't you remember what you saw, I want to ask why are so in the book we see that we read that the nightmares are like something like mannequins on wheels and so.
Dummy mannequins on wheels, yeah.
Yeah, but
There's suits.
what does plushes have to do with that in the game?
I think, see,
Why do
that's
they
the
turn
that's the
into
thing
plushes?
that's the thing I'm stuck on. I
Option
feel like
theory.
it has to, because like
Option
you
theory.
could, what?
Option theory is all I'm saying. Keep going.
I'll talk about it myself, but I'll let you guys talk first.
my first idea was that it was because I just chalked it up to hallucinations, but that didn't make sense because the unhallucinated version is the mannequins on the wheels. So I literally think that the plushies just happen to just like be in the closet. That doesn't make sense though. Because like the Fredbear plushie's on the bed, Freddy comes from the bed. The Foxy plushie's in the closet, Foxy comes from the closet.
And then Foxy
And I would
runs.
assume but then he runs.
Yeah, like the plush appears.
He
out of
runs,
nowhere there.
meaning he's not in the closet before he gets into the closet. So
Unless
like
the
that throws a
plush-
wrench.
Unless in games inside the mannequins we have plushes and the plushes have secret wheels that we don't see.
Hey, what if I introduce you to the solution? Auction theory.
Auction theory.
Mike
Thank you.
after the FNAF 3 auction bought the items from it, that being the plushies, the hat, everything, and the spirit that's doing the nightmares, like the one who's speaking in the trailer, same way he brought home what game you're playing, is the one inducing these your dreams or low hallucinations, and they come from the plushies. That's
you know
why.
what Ooh, wait a minute. That's a good idea.
That's why Freddy. That's why small things in a terrible package, terrible things in a small package like plush wrap.
Yeah.
You're buying a
So,
plushie, a terrible thing, but it's a small package. It's a plushie.
There is something I want to point out
Hold on.
actually.
Let Flipside
Um,
Flipside talk. He's doing this thing. He's about to talk about.
Okay, so I have an interesting view on FNAF 4, especially with the plushie thing. I'll try to keep it centric around that. But with FNAF 4, no, I'm gonna make this clear. I definitely think the gameplay of FNAF 4. I don't think it's literally happening in the experiment rooms, but I do. But don't get. Let me. I do think it is the nightmares of experience. I do believe it's nightmares in the game because the logbook reiterates that.
Yay!
I think, but for me, I think it's specifically nightmares of having experiences in the experiment rooms themselves, because obviously those are real locations, which means like he probably would have been there before. But the interesting thing
I would
about
say
FNAF
that.
4, and I'll probably bring this up in my Plush Bear video whenever the heck that comes out, is that it seems like FNAF 4, there's so many callbacks to past events in that game, depending on how you view it. Like, obviously there's all the FNAF 1 callbacks with like how the animatronics and the gameplay and whatnot, but there's also like, depending on how you look at it, there's also stuff like potentially from FNAF 2 with Nightmare Balloon Boy and the closet kind of there being an opening in the middle of the room, kind of reminiscing of FNAF 2's hallway with the flashlight. But anyways, but also FNAF 4 is also intrinsically tied to the trauma of the week of the Bite of 83, because we see the pills, the hospital stuff, Nightmare Foxy, we see him like
The week
behaving
before.
yeah, the week before. But the interesting thing about that with the plushies, I think, is because like, they specifically turn into the plushies. Like you see that in FNAF 4, but we also see that in Curse of Dreadbear during the Spooky Mansion hallway crawl level. Nightmare Foxy like deliberately like
Oh,
just like,
that's a good
transforms into a
point.
plushie.
Ooh,
In the middle
I forgot
of the
about
hallway,
that.
in the middle of the hallway, he transforms into a plushie.
Oh
Between,
my
like,
god, that's
thunder,
I
the thunder
forgot about
crashing.
that. I totally forgot
Yeah.
about that. Oh my god.
And the interesting thing about that is like, it seems like, I feel like the plushies, like I don't know about like necessarily auction theory. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely a possibility, especially like if you believe like Plushtrap is like based off of Mike seeing Springtrap or something like that. But the interesting thing about that is like, it seems like these nightmares, the plushies are tied to these in some way. Maybe it's literally the Bite Victim's plushies, and like his agony or his memories are like literally, maybe Mike Victim, maybe Mike.
Do you think it's a hide and seek situation?
Maybe it's like Mike literally brought the plushies home, and they're
Now that would be
somehow.
funny.
They're haunted somehow, and they're influencing his nightmares. So it's kind of like auction theory, but like kind of not. It's just like the idea of like the plushies are literally inducing the nightmares.
There's another
Somewhat.
theory.
I think the spirit doing it is because they want to punish Mike, and it's this puppet behind the one who's behind Plush Bear.
So I think there's another theory about that line. Some people say the thing that he brought home, like he didn't like when he say they brought home, they mean like it followed him home and he like brought it with him. And that thing, can you guess what that thing is?
Shadow Freddy.
It is Shadow Freddy. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, sir.
I can't believe you misgendered me.
I'm sorry. Okay, guys, I'm getting canceled. Bye bye.
Live on stream.
Quick, while he's gone, let's talk a bunch of trash
I'm
about
just-
him.
I'm
Oh
just
no, he's
kidding.
back.
He's back.
Okay,
Cheeda, that was so fast.
okay, now that
There
we
is something I
settled
want to
that.
point out real quick.
What?
There is something I do want to point out
Okay.
real quick. So, when I read Didophobia, when I heard about the wheels and everything, something got into my head. It's like, wait a minute, I think we've seen something like this in FNAF 4. So, when you check the hallway where the animatronics are looking back, they roll back fast like they're on a wheel.
Yeah, they do that. I feel like, but I feel if you notice, Scott, like he tried to add some animation, but they just like glide backwards.
Yeah, like they're being wheeled away.
Yeah. Almost like someone is. Okay, crack theory here. There's someone in the house pushing the mannequins back and forth.
I mean, just say a
Don't they
spirit.
move on
Just
their
say
own
a
and are,
spirit.
like, genies?
It's a spirit. Yeah, they're moving them with their spirit powers, just like in Alone Together. They can interact with the physical world.
spirit power.
Yeah, I think it's the puppet who's Plush Bear who's basically punishing Mike for what he did to the bite victim.
The puppet is Plush Bear?
See, I love that idea,
Yeah.
but why wouldn't the puppet be a small puppet plush?
And also, how did
Because,
she move? How did she move vessels?
We'll
always
talk
had the
about
ability to do
Fredbear
that.
later.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
so now that we talked about the nightmares, so earlier on we talked about the nightmare Fredbear and nightmare and them having stomach teeth. Do anybody has anything to comment about the stomach teeth?
Spooky.
I feel like, yeah, just spooky Scott Being saying, ooh, scary.
Yeah, I feel like
Scary,
if it was like a
Fine.
huge important detail, it might have been on the other nightmares too. I mean, I guess you could say it's like specifically for Fredbear because it connects to him, like I don't know, like eating the bite victim or something like that. But
Yeah. Because it's also in the
Shadow
is it the stomach mouth's in the VR model too, right?
I think
So
so.
Fazbear, like, they know about that stomach mouth.
Well, actually, they could just know it just from the Mike's drawing from the logbook. Maybe they found.
Oh
the
yeah, the
logbook
logbook, the logbook. Yeah. It's a real book.
So, okay, one thing I want to talk about is the Nightmare Fredbear teaser. So, interestingly, it was black and white except for the bow tie, which kind of makes him look like Nightmare, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Drawing a
pretty sure-
connection
I'm
between
pretty-
the two.
I'm pretty sure he
Yeah,
overlaid. I'm pretty sure when I heard he overlaid Nightmare with Nightmare Freddy. Nightmare
That
Fredbear.
makes sense. That actually makes
I
a lot.
mean,
That makes a lot.
I
Knowing
don't-
Scott,
the interesting-
that makes sense.
the interesting thing about that, the reason why I think it looks like that personally, like I actually don't think that was meant to be Nightmare him. Like that was meant to be like a night. Here's what I think, because the way it looks, it literally looks like it is just Fredbear, like without the saturation in his image. Yeah, because like Nightmare is like translucent. Nightmare is like translucent and stuff. So he seems like he's a little more darker too. I think in this case with like him looking like that, I actually think it was specifically just for Scott to like tease and like hold back the twists. For if Scott showed
There's
that he
two
was
of
like
them.
golden,
Yeah.
if Scott showed that he was golden, like people would have like noted the twist. But like, it was meant to be a twist thing. If that was like, oh crap, that's golden Fredbear. You know
I
what
believe that's
Yeah.
what happened,
Maybe
yeah.
that was just me.
But
that's just-
Can I throw something in real quick?
Yeah.
I just found it interesting that Nightmare is the one on the cover of the Twisted Ones.
Well, we talked about that last
Shadow
time.
Freddy. Watch my Shadow
Yeah.
Freddy video. That's all I gotta say.
Dislike
Gotcha.
it too. Make sure to leave a dislike. Make sure to leave a dislike.
Okay,
Sure.
all
Oh,
right.
make sure to
Dislike.
like it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing video.
So
I liked it. I liked it too, but you should dislike it just to be mean.
Just to be
So mean.
we are mean, but we gotta do it for the memes.
yeah, okay, so and before the Fredbear teaser, we had the purple hat and bow tie teaser, in which we actually saw a reflection of either Nightmare Fredbear or Nightmare, most likely Nightmare Fredbear. And an interesting thing, so back in the day we didn't know that it was that Fredbear had purple hat and purple bow tie. So one of the popular theories that were back in the day was that this bow tie and this hat belonged to Shadow Freddy because he is purple, and that in the game we'll see that there will be a Nightmare Shadow Freddy in the game, and that in the game we'll see the origin story of Shadow Freddy and why he and who he is. And I think that's interesting, knowing that Nightmare is called Shadow Freddy in the files.
And the fact that he appears in FNAF 6 of all things.
There is something interesting though on that Fredbear hat teaser, just the property of FRED and then it gets cut off.
Fredbear's family diner, yeah.
See, the thing is, like, a lot of people point out how if you try to fill it in, it actually doesn't really fit Fredbear's diner that much. It fits more via Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and I thought that was always interesting.
Isn't that
This
the
is-
purple hat teaser?
I'll post an I'll put an old post from my friend in the chat if you want to read generally what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. 'cause
put
it's
it in
kinda
the chat.
confusing. Oops, wrong chat, one group chat.
Yeah, but I just find it interesting how
Yeah, so the point being is that if you look at it in that way, that would mean that Fredbear's potentially, after Charlie died, became Freddy Fazbear's, which seems actually supported somewhat into the pit, because you have the Fredbear's phone number that you can call, and when you call that number, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria picks up the phone and it references the big bite, the golden bite. And so some have interpreted that to be like, oh, it changes after the bite, but that would seem to more imply the bite happens there when it's Freddy's, which I think is really possible that after Fredbear's closes, they basically rebrand the place to be a Freddy's location, right? There's still like a main Freddy's characters get their own location still, right? At a different location, they still split off, but the place is rebranded as Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria instead of Fredbear's Family Diner, and the star characters there are the swimsuit characters.
I personally believe that Fredbear was rebuilt into FNAF 6. Personally.
Why FNAF 6?
Well...
that actually makes sense. Yeah, the poster.
It's actually a crazy theory that like Fredbear's is actually like FNAF's the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place was like originally Fredbear's. It's actually a crazy theory, and the evidence is actually really compelling. Actually, I like
have a whole video we made with Cheeda about it. I don't remember all the proof I did for it, but I had like a whole video with Cheeda about it.
Yeah, there's a drawing of Fredbear.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. The only thing is like I'm wondering because it ends on R. It does end.
Yeah,
on
that's the thing. It ends on R, not ZA.
Read the images.
Another theory I made on my channel was that since we know that this location is probably connected to Fredbear's or below it in some
also
way,
true.
That the burn shop location under the pizza place is actually this location, a private room.
Is it the scooper?
I'm talking about not the scooper room, but specifically the burn shop location where we fight him. Because
that was Henry's little like cubby corner, right?
Yeah, but like if you look at it, it's quite similar to the private room. Like
it is.
It even has one long hallway at the end of the hallway.
Wait, what are you talking about? I got distracted. I was reading it.
That area, the burn trap boss fight area, could be the private room.
From like the room Henry was in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that. I just thought that was
obvious. It has the gas tanks, and gas tanks can be used to burn.
Wait. Do most people not think that by this point? I just thought that was like, oh, this is that room Henry was in.
No, they just thought it was just some room.
What?
Connected to FNAF 6.
When I first played the game, I was like, oh, this is Henry's room. You're activating the fire.
Yeah, no, I believe that too. I always believe that too.
Well, that's obvious, really.
Oh no. Well, yeah, they knew that like that area under the pizza place, that is Henry's room, but not everyone makes that's also the private room from the sister location connection.
Wait, private room, sister location? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's the one.
There is the scooper. Yeah.
Wait.
No, because some people. I think Draz, you brought this up before.
Because when you go one way, sorry for cutting you off again. When you go one way in Night 5, you go to the scooper room. When you go the other way, you go to the private room. Continue.
Wait, are you saying that like the FNAF 6 location was built above onto Seabear?
What?
So here's the interesting thing. So the theory goes is like there's the Pizzaplex, right? Underneath it is the Pizzeria Simulator location. Now, under the theory that the Pizzeria Simulator location was originally
Fredbear's,
then it would also potentially be connected to Circus Baby's Entertainment Rental. So that would be beneath that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like how the theory would go for a lot of people.
So Henry basically took the SO bunker and renovated to be the labyrinth.
I just realized that can't work.
It's a very interesting theory. I'd recommend looking into the.
The thing that interests me there is that in my Plesio video, I argue how it seems towards the end that Henry is involved with the private room, and that he showing all the parallels with it being under his house in the novel trilogy, Henry having information by FNAF 6, discovering things, the room being recently used, and William having been dead by this point.
There's actually
I
there's
feel like
actually there's
I feel like
there's a shirt design that Cloak made, and I'm not saying this is like evidence or it's canon, but it like puts like a good like kind of like I don't know what's it called, maybe like a like I don't know like a good like outline for like the type of like what people are thinking. I'll try and see if I can find it while you're talking.
yeah,
You can keep
find it is that if that's true and Henry was that room is the private room, that would support what I was saying in the Plush reveal that Henry was the last one used in the private room by Sis location because it's more recently used and stuff like the Plush Bear wasn't there before. Because in things like Deophobia, the Plush Bear's not there and the place is falling apart at the seams. While by Sis location, which should be after Deophobia, the place is active. It's
I think
pristine.
Didophobia is after sister location.
I think Deophobia takes place in the early 2000s at most, and Sis location takes place in the later 2000s. But 2023 after FNAF.
Oh yeah, there's also a thing with Sea Bear being under FNAF 6, there's an issue with that, and that's that we have reason to believe that the Afton house is above Sea Bear.
Well, all of it can be above Sea Bear. Like you saw
Well, actually, I'm gonna cut in right here, really quick, Glycin, because there are actually some people that think like that Michael room.
Oh
in
no!
Security breach.
Is his actual
Like,
room?
some people think that it's like it's literally the room, and they also built on top of the house. So
What in
it's
the
also,
hell?
So
So
people
I
they're
think
just
that is true.
we're just
That
stacking
was obvious.
locations on top of each other at this point.
So it's like, so if you think about it from the theory, that's theory standpoint, it's the sister location bunker, then there's Fredbear's in the Afton house, and then there's the Pizzaplex on top of it.
Jesus
The
Christ!
There's a
foundation
lot.
must be crazy.
It's very complex.
That's a lot. That's
wonder
4
why-
different games on top of each
I think
other.
that actually kind of works. I think the idea of the new games is that Henry's Fire kind of failed. He tried to bury the past, but then like Pheasant Entertainment came back as
Literally.
strong as ever, and they just built upon on top of it.
Yeah.
Basically, they mocked the past by building their prime location above everything.
They're
Nobody
literally
knows that.
trying to bury the past. That's kind of funny.
It's like the anti-sea bear circle.
I honestly, God, think the idea is that Henry's plan was a failure, and that
It was.
What-
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and completely failure. And that's why he may be alive. But
That's why Mike is alive too.
that's true. They're all alive.
Yep,
I'm not even joking.
Oh yeah, if
But-
you want to know why Mike might be alive, tune in to Nara Raven's stream tomorrow. I'll probably be there.
No, I already know. Are you gonna be on the stream?
I probably will be. I'm hoping I can.
Oh,
Well,
right.
I've been believing Mike's survival for years, and they don't invite me. I'm gonna murder them. They're dying. I've been promoting Mike's survival since FNAF 6.
Here,
I think
so it's
I
really
did
hard
it
to say-
until like Ruin came out.
I'm gonna send an image. It's really hard to. It's hard to make out a little bit because this is cropped out of a T-shirt. But this is. I'm not saying this is a canon thing, but Cloak made this design, so this is kind of what it would look like. That was the case. So you got the Pizzaplex, and then you got the FNAF 6 pizzeria, and then you got sister location under that, and then they just put the lake for reference.
Yeah, dude.
it's
Like,
just,
they
like-
canonically, we have 4 different games on top of each other.
If
Yeah,
the theory is true, if the theory is true, then that's crazy.
I
That's
think it fits symbolically because you have Henry tries to bury the past through fire, but this
Only
simply
Fazbear.
it allows the company to basically bury it all and mock it, right? You built the Pizzaplex, the location, the image of new Fazbear above everything Henry tried to bury away.
You know, only Fazbear will literally try to bury the past. That's kind of funny. Only Fazbear will do that. I wouldn't
Maybe
be surprised if they buried the Emilys and the Aftons.
Ironically, the thing about, yeah, sorry, real quick. Ironically, the thing about all of this, just in modern FNAF, is that it's literally exactly the opposite of what Henry said he wanted at the end of FNAF 6, because he ends it off with saying, you know, all this should be forgotten, as every tragedy should. This place will not be remembered. But Fazbear does the exact opposite, where they bring all of it to life, and they literally make it part of their brand, and they
That's
put
why-
it on the
that's-
forefront.
That's why I feel like
and it backfires. It backfires on them
Mimic.
completely.
that's why I feel like it was
It's
like
a
I
mimic.
think that's always was the plan since FNAF 6. I think Scott has had like a grander narrative at play since FNAF 6 probably. That
Yeah, I feel like starting Help Wanted 1, like he definitely has like somewhat of a plan now. Compared, like, obviously, like 1 through. He did say 1 through UCN. He didn't. He was making it up as he went along. But yeah, I feel like in modern FNAF, he definitely has some type.
I mean, like FNAF 6, right? I feel like because there was like this old theory.
Oh, he definitely said he did, but still fucked up.
There was this old theory that I think it's wrong, but there was an old theory made by a guy I still know, and who was like real FNAF 6, that the FNAF 6 wasn't like the real one, and it was gonna be a game that builds to the next one.
Oh yeah,
now,
I remember those theories.
Now, the thing is, right, I think the post still holds up because there's a lot of the dialogue in there that kind of feels like very directed at the viewer, as if like there's something more to come in the future. And it didn't take long for Scott to say after that he's going to be giving it to companies, he's going to make games. So I feel like Scott did actually have an idea like, hey, FNAF 6 was never going to be in, this was always going to build something else, and you saw hints of that in the dialogue of FNAF 6. Because in FNAF 6, for example, Henry's playing Blueprints. He says may neutralize. His blueprints aren't even sure if it's going to work. In fact, we have things like William knowing the plan he knows is a trap. And mind you, you have conflicting dialogue where supposedly Baby thinks William's the employer, yet she's crawling around the same vents as William is, and says, "I heard your call," which wouldn't make sense if she's saying that to Michael, right? And he says, "You don't know who your employer is, do you?" Right? So the dialogue wouldn't make sense if she's just completely oblivious. It sounds more like the commuter, and since William knows it's a trap, and Baby saying, "I heard your call," in the same events as him, is as if like, "I heard your call, my father." And why she seems so confident at the very end, because it's like, we'll be complete, we'll be whole, right? They combine to one thing. And I feel like that's what you see in the later games. You see the tangle, the blob, is the amalgamation of all of the scraps, everything that was there. Their plan was to hijack Henry's plan. Their plan, really, William's plan? William and Baby's plan was to hijack Henry's plan and use the fire to amalgamate themselves into one thing.
I find that funny, by the way. That like, Baby was like, yeah, let's go. This was created for us.
That's why I feel like it was success. That's why I feel like the idea is that the fire failed. Michael survived. Henry technically could survive because it's a contingency plan, but nothing really truly indicate that. That's why I think
this Freddy is probably like 100 years old.
That's why I think like William's alive, Michael's alive, Baby in a sense is still around, in a sense. Charlie's around.
Let me be honest right now
kids
here.
are still stuck in the blob.
I think by the time we get to FNAF Sister Location and FNAF 6, we'll have nothing to talk about them. Because we already talked about them.
Point.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, really quick.
Yeah.
What's the next thing on the board?
Does Shadow Libra want to start off with the next thing if he's even still here?
What is the next thing?
The next thing I wanted to talk about was going back to the teaser and talk about the last thing of the last purple strings, and that is the 83 and 87 in the code of the teasers.
Oh.
See, some people. Okay.
Okay, wait. Let me explain the situation first. Okay, so there was almost in every teaser of FNAF 4, there were numbers 8 and 7 in the code. So like, for example, on the Plush Drop teaser, it said SCO 8 TT, so Scott, but 8 in between, and then games had 7 in between A and M, so 87 together. And like, there's a lot of similar 8 and 7 in the code that's like that doesn't actually change anything, but it's just visual. Then when the FNAF 4 released, the code on the Plush Drop teaser changed to 83 from Scott 8 games 7 to Scott 8 games 3. And the code changed from 87 to 83, but beforehand it was on every teaser 8 and 7, 87. And even the teasers like of the Nightmare said, "What's it mean?" Like if hinting at the bite of 87. But then it turned out to be the bite of 83. So like it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed a little bit of that, but to my knowledge, right, only one teaser had 83, and it was like a couple of days before the game came out, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
on
it
the
was- it was-
release
it was-
date, and it was on the same
very-
teaser. It
It was
was the
2 days. It
Plesio
was like
teaser.
2-3 days. It was like 2-3 days. I'm pretty sure.
It was very close to release date when.
Yeah,
Sony
I
did
feel
it.
like
It was like 48 hours prior, right?
yeah,
Like
the
it
whole
was very
like,
soon.
dude, like, I've heard someone before who still believes that like Scott was trolling when he said that the game was an 83 in that one comment, and it's like
Oh,
I can't blame them because it's like
He's
you
a
look at all the teasers was about 87. It spanned all of them, and Scott said in his own words that he was not trying to mislead or trick people, and if that was a red herring, that is by definition misleading people.
Yeah.
And he
Well, I
says that,
mean,
and the
you
game
would
comes
do
out.
that.
The game comes out. You have toy animatronic imagery still around. You have the 87 phone call playing in Mike's nightmares or experience, as if like whatever he experienced was related to the buyer of 87. Like there was so much more evidence for 87 in the game, and the only thing you really got to indicate 83 was that very specific details like, oh wait, why is this happening? Or there's 83 on, it's a copyright date. That wouldn't even necessarily be evidence. It's just like there's so much more to indicate 87 in retrospect. I feel like it had to have been like adjusted mid-development.
Like it feels like something of a retcon, but like Scott said that the retcon or whatever it was hasn't been really noticed, and like everybody pretty much noticed this change. So
I have heard a lot of people say, or not a lot of people, some people really do think that FNAF 4 was like a very different game. Like after, like when it released, it was somewhat of a different game than how it originally was meant to be during development.
You can make that argument. You could.
Yes.
You could bring up the 1 to 4 argument, but then
I don't
when
really
sister
have-
location changed it all.
I don't really have a preference on that, but some people do like think that like it was FNAF 4 ended up being a pretty different game than how it was originally being developed as. Just because like, especially because like all the teasers of like all the nightmare animatronics and the wasn't me or whatnot, which is like
That
seems like
ended
it's
up having
taking-
nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, it really didn't. It really didn't.
Yeah,
It's
so
Now that I think about it,
that's why I feel like it has to have been intended to be 87, and it's got adjusted during development.
then that would
maybe
be
wanting
like
to
a
go further
retcon,
back in the
basically.
timeline.
Well,
That's
I mean,
true.
it
Yeah,
wouldn't-
that's
Would it be the retcon? Because here's the interesting thing about the retcon is like technically it wasn't even it could have pointed to that, but it wasn't like set in stone. So it
Fair
technically like wouldn't have been a retcon.
That's a good
because, like,
point.
the game
Yeah, like
the game
it's like
wasn't out yet.
you're not
It's not like
retconning
Save
something
Game.
if you it'd be like saying that they're developing Halo 7 and they change the plot of the game. That means they retconned it. That's not how it works.
or
like-
that's
like-
like
like-
saying
like-
any movie that rewrites the script is retconning the movie.
Said it was
'cause, like,
seamless.
Yeah, because the interesting
Yeah.
thing, because like, when it comes to retcons, like think about it like this: like we have a character who like gets a specific has a specific death in one film, and then the next film we're told they died a completely different way, and it's like a completely different.
You're
sequence
talking
of
about
events,
Star
too. Like,
Wars?
that's no,
Star
I'm
Wars.
just using like an analogy. Like that's a straight up retcon.
Because
because
that's like
the whole point-
straight up happened in Star Wars.
Or like when a character is established to be a male that gets killed outside and then they turn into a girl.
You know,
I don't think Puppet was established to be male. I think he was just used
It's
as
called
a
Save Him.
yeah, but like
I feel like it got
people
less
refer to
retcon, but
kids
more
as
so
him if they don't know
recontextualized.
the gender. Like if I would say like there's a kid running around, like so some people may ask like who is he, or some people may ask who is
Gender
that?
neutral.
Who are they? Well, yeah.
Fair enough.
Some people may say they, but some people also may say he, because he also grammatically correct to refer to someone you don't know a gender of. Right now it's less popular, but that's grammatically correct, and that is the way I would respond. Like I would to call the kid he, because well. That's just the way I talk. That's just maybe Scott is the same way, where he just uses he as a gender neutral too.
This is I don't know how much of like a weird take this is. Some people think some people think that you could technically take that and actually have it technically not be a retcon. I mean, it's more recontextualizing it, but some people think so. So this is a crackpot. I'm not saying I believe this, but it's like in the novels, a big plot point about Charlotte, the animatronic.
Oh
The
no.
big thing about her is that she believed that Sammy was the one who did it. He was the one who taken. He was the one who was killed.
Yeah, I figured this
So-
was gonna come up.
Some people have posed the idea that a similar thing happens in the games where the puppet who's in the mind of Charlotte is believing that it's actually she has a false memory or something, that it's her brother outside being killed by Afton, and she has to quote unquote save him or whatnot.
I have a
I'm
similar
not saying I
idea.
believe that.
I have a similar idea. I actually do believe about that actually, but it's not exactly that. It's that each mini game we have the puppet speak. They're referencing on different people, right? Save them, right? You're telling Freddy to save them. You have give life. Give the gift of life to the children. So it's in reference to helping others. In that mini game, it would be an outlier because it'd be the puppet Charlotte speaking about saving themselves. That would be very weird. So I do feel like if it's not that, it could be recontextualized to be saving a him character, right? When they die, when they die, their final thoughts are of saving someone they care about. That could be Sammy. It could be a bite victim. Both. I think something like that was like, I'm going to save a him, and I think it's the bite victim personally.
Guys, there are 83 views on the stream.
Oh really? We got 83 people.
hit the magic number.
Views.
So not watching right now, but like views collected so far.
So does that solve the 87 versus 83 debate?
That's crazy.
Until it gets to 80.
Dude, it should have been 87, man, because it could have been perfect. It would tie everything together.
I was thinking just now.
And then if they did that, if it was 87, you could have stuff like Life Himself the MCI, but still have 85 MCI, because then it would just happen 2 years before the game. Everything would have been so perfect if it was just an 87.
Okay, I think
like
it's time we talk about Happiest Day and putting pieces back together, don't you think, Joel?
I'm surprised though I didn't get any like pushback about arguing about MCI 83.
I mean, like,
I believe MCI 83.
You made it sound really believable, dude.
yeah, no, he has a really good point. I'm not personally MCI.
Watch my MCI video.
I have watched it, and it's very good. I recommend everybody watching the stream watches it as well.
I'll be watching it after.
We all are
Yes,
watching each other.
Happiest Day. What an interesting event, because people are still arguing about when this thing even takes place.
I've heard some
it was
people
even
say,
believed it was believed it was happened in 1987 back in FNAF 1 era.
Is it even like confirmed that Happiest Day even happens?
I think so.
I
think
it
so.
does. I think at a certain point in time it does happen.
One thing,
Scott said the answer to the good ending or bad ending is nuance, and the determinant of the ending is the Happiest Day. If it didn't happen, you just have the bad ending, and Scott would need to say it's complicated. When he says it's complicated in a binary decision, he's kind of like implying both are true in a way, which is why I believe like the good ending happened, and then what MCI happened, that's the bad ending, right? Happiest Day happens didn't follow me. What MCI happens at a later point, it takes the kids out of Happiest Day, which is just a memory, and then that's the bad ending, right? Molten Freddy is the bad ending.
I like that idea.
I think bad ending is actually I think the bad endings after the when Afton gets springlocked, and the Happiest Day ending is most likely either after FNAF 6 or after FNAF 3, whatever you want to believe. But the reason why I believe that is because originally back then we thought the spirits are not set free and they still need to be set free. That's why we're getting the bad ending. We don't get the we don't play the mini games and all that. But when we do play the mini games and we do like progress, that's when all the spirits are gone. But Golden Freddy is, well, he's gone. But everybody else is still there.
What?
But in the bad ending, go ahead.
One interesting detail I talked about last time was that on, I believe, Xbox, the achievement for getting the happiest day is called True End, which, I mean, could be just like the true end, like as in satisfying end, but I just find it interesting that happiest
Yeah,
day is called
I
True
only-
End.
I only
No
brought
pun
up the
intended.
I only brought up the canonicity thing because like Scott kind of pointed, you know, us towards it, and I made a video a long time ago about how for happiest day to happen, the purple glitch shadow Bonnie that could be glitch trap has to give cake to the out of bounds child, which I don't think would happen if it's Afton trapped within like the circuit board.
I don't
I-
think.
There is an idea for that actually.
I'm glad you
Okay.
think
I
so,
do think
Draz.
Bonnie's a creation
find
of
it.
Charlie, but that's a possibility. I don't know if it is or not. But go ahead.
I'm trying to find something. Gotta read it out.
Oh.
Oh, okay. But that's just an idea. You don't have to believe it or not, but it's something important because I did mention it several times. Shadow Bonnie helps the kids free them. And yes, we can argue about the Shadow Freddy thing, but Shadow Bonnie is called a guardian in the files of FNAF AR. And what is Shadow Bonnie guarding? Well, he's trying to stop you, the player, from collecting Remnant, which is
I'm back.
pieces of
Oh,
souls.
hey. Wow, I never
Found it,
knew.
by the way.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
knew
you-
Shadow Bonnie was a guardian. What?
Well, actually, yeah. And the interesting. So here's the interesting thing about that is that with FNAF AR, like I know some people think that there are some people who actually think like Shadow Bonnie is like legitimately glitch trap, but I feel like
Are
FNAF
you
AR
serious? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
no, but so,
How?
firstly, for me, it's like the FNAF AR really points away from that because the interesting thing is like the thing for that is like Shadow Bonnie. He seems like he specifically does not want you to get your hands on Remnant in the game. And the interesting thing
Right.
about is that it's specifically the Ultimate Guide seems to like it points out that I don't use the Ultimate Guide like I use it sparingly. I don't like to use it for like
Very
major evidence.
sparingly, yeah.
But
I think it's reliable.
and
Reliable
why aren't you
indeed.
Stitchline? Well, then why aren't you Stitchline, Dress?
I don't think it supports this line.
We really went there. Damn.
Anyways.
Oh,
but,
hell
But no. Anyways, so but with that, it does point out that like it seems like the directive of needing to collect Remnant that only appears after the virus takes over the system. So that would imply that Glitch Trap is specifically the one that wants you to get Remnant, but Shadow Bonnie is working like against you from getting that Remnant. So I feel like that would paint Shadow Bonnie in this scenario at least as like a sort of neutral slash
I agree.
even sort of like
He's like a Deadpool situation.
quote unquote good force where it's like he's specifically like he's going against what the virus wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RWQ looks nothing
guess-
like the glitch purple Bonnie from the minigame. RWQ is all black. In
Yeah,
FNAF
not
3.
purple.
He's
Although it
he's
is hard
purple,
to
though.
do a
He is
it's hard to
purple,
do a Phantom Black in a Phantom Black background though.
It is.
Yeah.
He is purple in the one
Mm.
minigame where it implied a kid was taken. So I think we are meant to correlate to William using Spring Bonnie.
I'm glad
I
you
think-
agree, Draz.
But what I found was my friend, about how William could be represented as the glitch thing is think Shadow Bonnie there represents William post Spring Trap looking back in time, maybe feeling some regret from all that happened because he killed him, not because he's regretful of killing the kids, because he died from it.
Oh, he's mad he got caught. I see.
Yeah, he's mad he died. So he starts from stage one, then ends up the actual stage one at the end, which would be Charlie's death at Fredbear's.
Yeah, he
which
like
I think,
infects,
which
he
I think
infects all the games because
which
he
I
can
think-
change levels.
Yeah, which I think what the black colored kid outside a box like can take it to the children in front of a backshot is supposed to represent. So what he's saying here is that you start at stage one, and it's like stage one of something Fredbear. I think it represents stage one of the MCI, but regardless of that, is you start there as a kid taken, and you glitch through time, and you find this random box of a kid outside.
That's the kid from that.
And-
you're saying that's the kid.
It's not the
saying
kid.
It,
Yeah.
it
That's an awesome
represents the
idea.
take cake to the children, right? You start stage one of the MCI, but then glitch through time to stage one of everything, the first murder. So when Tug says Shadow Bonnie was quote helping the
I think
kids,
this is in the Supreme Guide.
that would mean that would mean William is feeling regret. Wait, sorry. Whereas when Ultimate Guy said Shadow Blind was helping the kids, which would mean William feeling regret was a factor in them passing on, but I also think that's basically the crux of FNAF 3's plot. He didn't actually feel guilty. He was just regretful, but eventually ends up adapting to Springtrap. Something like that. It's a friend my theory has, but I like it though.
Yeah, no, I was actually gonna bring this up in my plush video because there was gonna be I'll say it here. I feel confident enough to say it here, just for reference, because it's kind of what related to what you're talking about, Travis. I interpret
Clip
it a
this
little
chat.
bit differently. I interpret it a little bit differently, but the idea I'm gonna bring up in that video, one of the things is the idea of like, so you know, in the Happiest mini games, it seems like the kids represent different things, right? Like, yeah, obviously the kid outside, that's Jeremy's soul, but he can represent something else. And so, you know, when you go into Stage 1, there's that specifically like that. I think you mentioned there's this in the Stage 1 minigame with Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, which I personally believe that's Fredbear's, but you can believe whatever. Because, but you know, we have Fredbear, Spring Bonnie, and then in one of there's several versions of Stage 1. But when you play Stage 1, you're glitching through all these different versions of the level. One of them specifically has a child missing, and then, you know, in like you said, in the Shadow Bonnie minigame, we specifically start in Stage 1 as Shadow Bonnie, and then we glitch through other levels. But then, you know, we go outside the box, and then there's a kid standing around outside. And for me, I think it's like, I think that kid being outside, obviously that's Jeremy's soul, but I think it represents the kid that we saw going missing in Stage 1, and I think that's Charlotte personally, and I think that's
You
something
still,
that's Fredbear.
you still think that
Yeah, just slightly different. I think the Stage 1 represents like Bifitness memory of the MCI, that he is that kid, but that the kid outside the box represents Charlie. Like, Jeremy takes the place with Charlie in the memory, the same way Fritz takes place of Bite Victim in the Stage 1 memory. That's the way I see it. Because you already have a kid in one of those boxes in the Stage 1 minigame, so I would think that kid represents the kid taken in Stage 1. Because wouldn't that mean like there's two kids representing the same person?
That's possible. Isn't that what we thought with Andrew and Cassidy?
I'm not a big Cassie Andrew theorist, so I can't really say that.
I love like the absolute hesitation the second get brought up.
I don't believe those characters are that important to the games.
Can we?
Well, Flipside, I'm glad.
We should.
That just got it got silent for a second.
We should come.
Spring, what you doing?
Yeah, I think we should try to go by the strings, because I'm afraid we won't be able to talk about everything else again this time too.
What's after the tears, the teasers?
The thing I want to talk about is the red strings, and specifically starting from the FNAF 4 ending.
Dibs.
So we in the FNAF 4 ending see someone in light yellow text saying, "I'm still here. I will put you back together," etc.
Can we all go around and say our takes on this?
Well, wait. Let me just first. I want to point out that the only other times we hear about someone putting like the literal line "putting back together" is in Sister Location, where William asked Michael to put back Elizabeth together, and in FNAF World. We will return to FNAF World later, but first I want to ask, so how specifically do we think Michael put Elizabeth back together?
And then
Memory-wise, entered.
I think it's the same thing broken means every single time. Is in the fourth closet, all the MCI kids were like these multiple shattered memories of themselves that Michael and Carlton were combined to be one whole again. And so I think the same applies to Bite Victim. We can probably get into that in a moment with FNAF 4. But when it comes to Elizabeth, it's the same thing. Elizabeth's soul, I think, would have been part of each of the Funtime animatronics, and she's behind all of them in the game. I think because all of them were probably made from baby's parts to some extent, and so she's a part of each of these characters, and that's the reason why Michael had to listen to baby
Wait,
with the full intention of
there's a
creating
bit
Ennard.
of me inside everybody line in the teaser.
Yeah, baby is a part of each of them. Elizabeth is a part of each of them. It's all Elizabeth.
Yeah, when it seems like Ennard with like Ennard specifically, like yeah, they all are one, but baby seems like the centerpiece.
Like-
Because like you know, especially because they
She's
wear
the
a
only-
cross too.
She is the only full spirit.
You know, the thing is, like the line, there's a bit of me inside everybody, doesn't really make sense if we disregard this. Because Ennard it's the opposite. There's a piece of everybody inside him. So the only way it would make sense if, I guess, Elizabeth is shattered across everybody, and it's Elizabeth talking through Ennard saying there's a piece of me inside everybody, like inside every fun time.
But the idea is that like the fun times were made from parts from baby in the sense that so when you basically make Ennard, you're not creating something new, you're creating what used to be, and recreating what used to be, and bringing them all together, which then puts baby back together, puts Elizabeth back together.
He brought them all together.
That's why Michael feels accomplished, right? He's confused. He's confused why he's alive, but he's not mad. He's like,
Michael MCI confirmed.
This is what I was supposed to do. He feels like he did his job. So whatever William told him, like it was like through a letter, through a freaking telegram, however it was, he did what happened to him was what he was told was going to happen, something like that.
Are we gonna? How did William tell Michael? Because he was spring locked, so we either A, anticipated that he would have been, or B, was able to reach him afterwards.
I think something like he sent a letter. I think a letter, something like that. Springtrap
Like,
sent a letter.
how did he know?
I would really imagine like William telling Michael to free Elizabeth, but then disappearing, and that's why Michael's saying, like, I will come find you because you disappeared before. Like, I think like William told this to Michael, then got spring locked, and then after a couple years, Michael, or maybe immediately, Michael decides to do what his father asked him, and then because his father went missing, and then wants to find him.
I would have thought that, but it begged the question: if William told Michael to do it when he was alive, why didn't he just do it himself?
I believe he is just lazy.
I think what I believe is that since I think SL takes place after FNAF 3, is I think what William did is he basically probably sent some type of letter or some type of just message to Michael. It could be handwritten, it could be digital, just a message being like, I am alive. So think of like the letter from Poppy Playtime that sent the main character. Just something like that. It was like, I am alive, go do XYZ instruction. Which I do think is somewhat
flower, Michael.
I think you're right.
Something like that. And I think it is support. You have in one vent repair, the hard mode, Springtrap's calling around the vents with Ennard in Seabear, and it's the same area where the furnace is at with the MCI. And in the original teasers for Location, people point out in the reflection of Baby, it looks like Springtrap's reflection. Some say it's like the microphone or her head, but when you outline it, it looks like freaking Springtrap and his rabbit ears. So it seems like Springtrap was evolved around the time.
I remember that a long time ago.
All right, back to we got a little off topic there. Back to the eyes.
Well, actually, I wouldn't say it's off topic, but yeah, I think we discussed pretty much.
What eyes?
The yellow eyes.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
What? No.
I think it's Charlie.
Okay. So. Do you want to say something, Flipside?
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say with William saying like a lot of people take Michael saying like you told me to put her back together. A lot of people taking that as like confirmation that he was the one who spoke through Plushbear, because it's a very similar line of sense. Yeah. I don't personally think that actually makes him Plushbear just because that's a similar line, because For me, it's like Willie, like Mike for one. Like I don't know if he's even if he did say that word for word to Michael, which is still a little bit iffy. For me, it's like it seems like that's just a phrase that people say in the FNAF theaters because Elizabeth also says the same thing about herself in the source code where she separates from Ennard, and also like Draz said,
Doesn't
Michael
she?
Brooks
Doesn't
also. Michael
Yeah,
Brooks
I was about to say, you were just quoting my video. You're just quoting me.
doesn't she also say I'm still here like William does?
I actually don't remember.
There's a
I'm
similar
still
line.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
something
I
like
think
that in the private
it
room.
was like that wasn't the source code of
I'm
the.
still here. It's in the nightly dialogue at the end of Sister
Oh
Location.
yeah, no, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
in the private room.
In the private room.
Oh yeah,
does
she does say I'm
She says
I'm
not-
still
everything okay,
here.
Everything's okay. I'm still here.
So we have
Yeah.
she says in the private room and between nights.
I don't
Well, I think
she
that
said
everything.
it
I
in
think
the night,
everything is
but-
okay. I'm still here is a bit different than saying I'm still here. Because
Yeah,
one's just like a,
That's why some people believe that Plashbear is Elizabeth. I've heard like some that theory existing.
I do think though, like it's clearly meant to be. I think the idea though of it being, if we're talking about the plush bear, which is tied to the yellow eyes inherently, is I think it's just simply impossible to be William. So I'll put everyone the challenge. If FNAF 4 was the final game, please find me any evidence of being William besides I'm still here being like a somewhat similar to I'm still here. Or
Isn't
I'm
that
still here.
Also,
that's
Gregory
a false.
says that
That's
line.
a false premise.
Well, I
To be
think it's a.
perfectly honest, there wasn't any evidence for William back then.
That's the thing,
over
too.
Time, it got through.
Here's the
But
thing
yeah,
though.
like
by
Fredbear
nature,
being a spirit
by
makes more sense.
nature of it be having no evidence in 4, I think that does make it incredibly unlikely. Because Scott
Why?
said the game the game was solvable on its own. It was a conclusion. Scott said the story was done. If there was no evidence to indicate that it was Plushbear, he was Plushbear at all, then like there's one thing to say the game was vague. It's another thing to have literally nothing indicating it, and then having it I guess have to clarify it. It's like,
Well, there were things indicating it. You just said besides those things.
well, I am still here is not really much of a evidence point. It's like he uses as a similar wording, even though the context is different. Because the reason why Plushbear says the line is that he's referencing the first dialogue he says in the game. It says, "Don't be scared. I'm here with you." And he's saying, "I'm still here with you."
That's a great.
Okay,
The conclusion's
wow.
still reachable.
And it's a really stretched conclusion when the context we have in the game is that every character who's been possessed looks like Plushbear does. Pinprick eyes, teleporting around, only visible to who they want to be seen. It has all the properties of possession. Its appearance is altered, which we know in the modern context happens when you get possessed. It can affect the actual appearance of the item. It does things like it promises the crying child back together, which has only been done by a spirit before, which is the puppet in the second game.
okay,
It's
So
stuff like
the
that.
merch is called Possessed Fredbear Plush.
Yeah, and Scott
Yeah.
keeps approving it. Scott keeps approving that every time too. He took down the Cassidy Kazoo. He took down Inaccurate much before, but he kept this up, and he keeps reapproving merch that call him possessed, and even say that he hates William Afton in that one card.
yeah, I have it on the board. So on the board, I guess I wanted to talk about FNAF 4, but let's talk about Fredbear, I guess. Whatever.
Well, for the Fredbearplush.
So,
Fredbearplush is FNAF 4.
no.
Yes, it is.
Not
Yes,
exactly.
it is.
Wait, why is it not?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Wait, can you explain why it's not?
We'll talk about it. So, first of all, what do we know about Plashbear in FNAF 4? In FNAF 4, he uses one font of the text, a yellow one, throughout, and like talking about like he let you inside again. Then wait, don't you remember what you saw? Run, blah blah blah. But then in the ending, he changes font to a different font, a bit lighter. So that's interesting. And
Is it a different font?
It's a
or
spirit
different
color.
color?
It's a hex code.
It's the same font, but it's a different tint. A different tint.
Oh, that's what I thought.
It's a different hex code. It's a pale.
Yeah, it's
white,
actually
yellow.
the same as one of the kids on the playground, the pigtails girls. But we will return to that topic later, if we get to it.
Wait, is this about the plush or the yellow eyes?
Well,
I guess
same character.
No, not exactly. We'll talk about that. So what are all the information we have about Fredbearplush?
Holy.
The font, we see a light yellow font in the ending, so that could imply that perhaps it's actually not the Fredbearplush talking, but just our CC. CC just so Crying Child just sees the Fredbearplush, but actually it's someone else at the hospital maybe talking to him, just like Michael did, and that's why the text's different. Or it could be a spirit talking or something like that.
A screen.
Yes?
Can I actually provide a reasoning that why the text color change does not indicate it's a different character?
Because it doesn't need to mean that.
Sure, while we're talking about it,
okay. I can do it right now, or you want to finish what you're saying?
No, just do it. I'm just saying that it can mean that it's a different character. It doesn't have to, but it's interesting detail. So now tell why you think it doesn't matter. Really.
Yeah, so the reason why it doesn't really make sense, because one, we never really had any indication afterwards that it's meant to be a different character, but most importantly, this is the Bifit's mind. This is clearly indicated by the black void, and it's clearly not literally the hospital. He's in the mindscape. And he's hearing a voice, and the voice is being depicted as the plush bear. That would only make the reason why. So what Bifit's perceiving in his mind is based on the voices or things he's hearing. So when he hears the voice speaking to him, and the visualization of it in his mind is the plush bear, is that when he hears the voice, he thinks of the plush bear. He's associating the plush bear with if it was a completely different voice he hadn't heard before, the plush bear wouldn't be represented by the voice in the mind, because the Bifit would be like, I don't recognize that. So the idea would be that the point, instead of Scott randomly introducing a last-minute new character, the text color is meant to indicate who the character is. And I think I can make the easy argument it's meant to be the puppet, because the text color is more ghostly. It fits the puppet's mask in terms of color, stuff like that. You could even go a little stretchy with it, combine the white text color of the puppet kind of somewhat used in FNAF 2 with the yellow text color of the regular plush bear, and you get nearly the exact same color scheme. A couple digits off. General point being is it's meant to reveal who the character is instead of introducing a whole new one, which doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Interestingly, I kind of want to add on to what Draz said, because mind you, in FNAF World, in the opening cutscene, we're also in this void type area, not exactly the same as FNAF 4. We're also in like this weird black void where we see the eyes, and they also I'm confident that the eyes and the final speaker in FNAF 4 are the same character. The eyes also have another different hex code color that is even lighter than the final speaker in 4. But I feel like with the eyes, it's indicating that these are the same character.
We'll talk about the eyes.
But
I have things to say about the eyes. But let's first finish about other things about Fredbearplush. So, so as just said, the text color doesn't have to mean much. Like it can be, for all we know, it could have been a mistake, really, or something like that. So another thing we know about Fredbearplush, that in sister location we see the Fredbearplush with a walkie-talkie, kinda
in William's bunker.
Yeah, in William's private room, and we see also the cameras of the FNAF 4 nights. And in the private room we also, and in the breaker room we also see a map of the all of the locations, basically.
Can I get some kind of like confirmation, like hard facts of how that's William's private room?
Well,
because it's his bunker under his house.
We know. Well, the issue, the thing with that is though, is that who says it's solely his bunker? Because we know Seabear is an open public place, and we know that Henry was the one who had the bunkers in the novel trilogy. And so it would make more sense that if this bunker is actually at the very least both of theirs, and the only thing Henry's not like a knowledge of would be the experiment rooms. You have technicians there; they don't know about the experiment rooms.
Like it could be Henry, but
here's why I feel like it's most definitely Afton's. It has nothing to do with like being connected to a specific house. It's just the act that just like aside from it literally being a Afton's robotics facility, it's just the fact that like when you access that room, mind you, we know that in Ditto because of Dittophobia, like he's the one who is responsible for
Like
functioning
documents
those
there. He had
rooms.
documents in the room. Yeah, like a few documents.
He had the documents, he had the clipboard. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't see why the private room wouldn't be his, especially because like that's like right up his alley. And the nightmare animatronics, like they say, like you made us.
I am
Yeah,
remade by not by
Yeah.
you.
The thing is
So,
like the
like,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing's idea is that it shouldn't. It's a public place. It's a fast food location, so logically Henry would be aware of it. He just wouldn't know about the experiments, just like the technicians didn't know about the experiments. It's like it's William's secret thing there, so Henry could be like, oh shit, only towards FNAF. So he's like, oh shit, look what he was doing. Well, I think the thing with the private rooms that a lot of people miss is that I think you can make the argument Deophobia doesn't take place before this location, and there's a clear difference in the way that place is described to how it is in my sister location. In Deophobia, some animatronics are missing. I mean, some things were falling apart. The whole place is falling apart as well, and it feels like a mix of like it's before and after, right? It feels really weird. But timeline-wise, it seems to be before, based on the technology, the time frame you get kidnapped, where the book takes place, and what we know about sister location. But by SL, the place is fully up and running. You have technicians, is pristine. And something really interesting is that in Deophobia, the Fredbearplush was not there. It was only there at this location, which I think is after the fact.
Well, how do you know it wasn't
that
there?
The book never goes out of his way not to mention it being there. He's exploring the desk. He's taking out all the papers off the desk. And this is the private room. Wouldn't you think Scott would be like, hey, mention that very iconic item that's in the private room?
He's right.
If that's the room.
Knowing Scott, I have no idea.
But the fact that it's not mentioned.
It's because it's not there yet. It's because whoever was in here recently, whoever was in that room recently, is the one who placed it there. That's what I think. And
there is one thing it's a little quick thing, but what is the one thing you need to do in order to access the private room?
You
1983.
No, you need to.
No.
Pick
Oh wait,
you gotta play the baby minigame. You have to play the baby minigame and then input a code. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the baby minigame is about Afton's daughter.
Yeah, I was gonna say that to Cheeda. Yeah, that's one more thing. It's like you can't just like nobody can just walk into the private room willy nilly. Like if actually until you play the baby mini game, you actually like you can't access the private
Hold
room.
on,
It
I
will-
got
it
bots
will
in
say-
the chat.
Yeah,
thank
will
you.
say access. It will say access denied.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly what I was.
That's how nobody else knows about Henry technicians because no one else can enter there. Henry's probably like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
Why'd you use this?"
I would say it's only accessible like to William.
I'm glad you
And the
found
pink guy.
something because that I'm trying to keep us a little open-minded here. You know.
Yeah.
Let's not assume.
I totally get it.
Let's not assume
Yeah.
anything.
Also, what is interesting is that if William designed the plush, which I don't think he did, but why would he want to make it look intentionally possessed and creepy? And the idea
Also,
is
why would he choose Spring? Why wouldn't he choose Spring Bonnie? That's a
Well, I don't
huge
think that
thing for me.
matters all too much. I'm saying
Really?
like, why would he make the plush look creepy, right? Let's say he wants to gaslit and scare the bite victim, okay, but you want to gain his trust first. You want to gain his trust and make him trust you. You don't get that if you make a creepy ass plush.
Yeah,
and
I've
you're
got
like,
Liberty Chica plush, and that's pretty creepy.
and you're like, trust me, and you're like this demonic looking plushie. That doesn't make
To
much
be
sense.
fair,
William
the
would
Phantom
not.
animatronics who are like meant to like look like animatronics to entertain, but they look much more creepier than and I'm not even talking about Ballora. I don't know the thing going on with
I don't think they
Ballora.
look that creepy.
Well,
But
I'm
the
not
plush
talking
bear,
about
the
Ballora being
plush
creepy,
bear
but
though
But
is
he
like an
sounds
older.
creepy.
It's an old Fredbear character, and it's made to it looks creepy and possessed, which wouldn't make sense for William to do. So what it looks like to me though is that it looks like the eyes don't glow anymore, and we do know they glow. So it seems to me that the item was possessed, and that's why it looks different. Possession alters the state. Just how the tear tracks were on the puppet's mask, and we see throughout the books and the other stuff that possession does physically change the object. So the spirit possessed it, but by the time Sister Change takes place, the spirit's not there anymore. So all you have is just the changed appearance, but the eyes don't glow.
For what? The plush?
Yeah.
The
Interesting
eyes are still glowing.
point.
I don't think that's glowing. That's just white eyes. Also, white eyes can't be camera lenses, by the way. It's impossible for an iris to have to be white and be a
Wait, do
camera.
people say the eyes are cameras?
Yeah.
No
God,
way.
man.
Some people.
Wow.
I'm glad that's not out of the question, at least.
Well,
say for
yeah,
the-
it's not. It's just a
Yeah.
unlikely.
I think for the walkie-talkie though, if that meant anything, I think it's for that phone call you play throughout the night. It's the
Yes,
ambience, the story
speaking
radio.
of didophobia, this is an issue.
What is it?
That
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Can you kind of explain it for the viewers?
so viewers, I'm gonna pull it up on my screen here. Here's a description for Funtime Foxy, if you can see. And take a second to read that. And then here's what that description entails. That's not what he looks like. So either the book is wrong, it was an error, or Rory's he's on that good. He's on the real gas.
On the Fazgoo?
Yeah, he's on the fast.
He's gonna fast.
No, he's on the
I
rub.
love smoking my Fazgoo. I smoke Fazgoo.
He's smoking up that rub.
Guys, I'm a fast good dealer. If you want some, hit me up, all right?
I'm a fast.
Oh, boy.
He's the fast plug.
The 3 copies of me want one.
I'll take
I'm
your
the
entire
fast
stock.
plug, guys.
He's gonna take your entire stock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming back
That
to
would line up with Mike's trip.
So
Mike,
now,
you're-
not the Fredbearplush
Coming back.
is.
Spring.
I think we should probably focus on just like having a discussion of who we think it is. That's maybe the main thing we want to go over.
Yeah, but like I think we still should say something. So the walkie-talkie with the Fredbearplush makes me think of the real Jake, where the father used a walkie-talkie to talk to his son, who died because of head-related thing.
I love that story.
He
That story's
used a
wholesome as hell.
walkie-talkie with a doll. That is.
I'm actually surprised you didn't bring up. A lot of people seem to. A lot of people do. I'm not personally Will speaker, but a lot of people do also correlate Tag Along Freddy from Cliffs.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, but you see though, a lot of people miss the stories. The
Interestingly-
plushie's always possessed in all the stories.
And also, people use the real Jake as Charlie plush evidence, but I can go over that in a second.
Well, I think that the books clearly show that two things. I'll actually go into novels real quick as it ties that. You have Theodore. Theodore was made by Henry to comfort Charlie. Very similar to Plush Bear, especially the time frame the kit it was made. And the fourth closet, it gets possessed by the Charlie bot. And that Charlie bot, from the box somehow, gives a message through Theodore to help John and Marla find where she's at, and they free her. And then, so as a first example of a plush made by the father, a good father, to comfort the child, and the child ends up possessing that plush, and ends up helping others. In the real Jake, people keep pointing out, oh, it's a father giving the plush, pretending to be plush. Well, you got to read the whole story. It is a good father, not a bad guy like William. It is a good, loving father who gives a plush to the child, Jake, who is a lot like Charlie, because when he becomes the Stitchwave, he carries Andrew in his arms. He gives Happiest to all the souls in the ball pit. He's directly meant to be a character who kind of shows us how Charlie works in a way. And so, in the point being, that plushie that the father was using to comfort him gets possessed by him. And then in Tag-Along Freddy, it's heavily implied that Tag-Along Freddy is possessed. It survives against impossible odds. It disappears at the end. The idea was that the plushie was depicted as evil, as if, oh, this is behind everything. But it's revealed, no, he's the good guy. He was trying to help the father the whole time to find his son. So, 3 examples. The plushies get given by the father to the child. The plushie is supernatural and is a good guy. The father's also a good guy. If this is consistent throughout all the stories about plushies that were given by the father, now similar to Plush Bear in that sense, then it can't have been William who made the plush, because William's not benevolent. He wouldn't make it for any benevolent reason. The whole point of the theory is that he's trying to gaslight the bite victim, which isn't benevolent. It means the Plush Bear himself also has to be a good guy. He has to be possessed, just like all the other examples.
Yeah, sure. And as someone here mentioned,
Isn't
the
there
Fredbear plush
father
is called
in a
Possessed
faraway
plush.
What are you gonna say?
Wasn't the father in a faraway place because he was in war and he got car
He was,
bombed?
yeah, he was overseas.
Yeah, he was
So he must have
overseas.
really fast traveled.
He died.
He fast traveled.
He used like a walkie-talkie to like.
Oh, that's the longest range walkie-talkie ever.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said
I just
he
realized,
possessed the
yeah.
plush, doll, right?
He's
No,
overseas.
Jake possessed the plush. Jake possessed the plush.
Oh
He
no,
possessed
yeah,
the Simon doll. Yeah.
The idea
Yeah.
is that the father gets the plush to comfort and monitor their kid, and then later that kid ends up possessing the plush toy. The father's good guy
I thought
gets
you were
possessed
talking
by
about
the
the,
kid, and they put the
I
plush
guess
in the
that's
care.
the difference from the games then.
I thought you were talking about the moment when he was talking.
Name. You gotta be consistent. If the father's always a good guy in the books, if the plush is always a good guy in the books, it means the plush is a good guy. Come on, feel it.
Okay.
Come on.
Nah, not necessarily. Also, I was talking about the kid possessing the plush. Bite victim doesn't possess the Fredbear plush.
Well, I think the idea would be that the plush spirit did not come from William. I think it came from someone else. If I wanted to give like a quick idea example, now Garrett has his plane in the movie.
What?
And that now Garrett has the plane in the movie. William
Yeah.
takes Garrett and kills him and gives the plane to Vanessa.
Oh dear God.
Plush bear could be something similar, where it belonged to Charlotte, just like being her game version of Theodore. He kills Charlotte, takes the plush, gives it to the bite victim.
Oh dear.
Are you gonna drop the Sammy victim on him, Draz?
I mean, I didn't. That particular thing is the one that doesn't involve Sammy victim.
Okay, okay, guys.
There you're going through.
Okay, now that we talked about all of those Fredbear stuff, so now
Got a
let's
big
talk about the
kahuna.
ice, and then we'll talk about Glitch Bear. So in FNAF World, we start off with the ice, and we also end with the ice with the clock ending, and like they say things like the lines from FNAF 4, where like I will put you back together, I'm still here, or something like that, which directly connects him to the ice to the ending of FNAF 4, regardless of them being either the soul of being possessing the plush before like the nights before, like in all of the mini games, or possessing the plush in the ending, or just speaking in the ending. Regardless, there's definitely an establishment that the eyes are the ones that speak out the lines of the FNAF 4 ending, and a thing that I noticed is that Glitch Bear has like Glitch Bear doesn't have the white eyes the Fredbearplush has. He specifically has the same color eyes as the eyes. And and the eyes are, well, they are a similar hue to the text of the FNAF 4 ending, if you think about it. And I don't know I think the hex code might be different. The text in FNAF World, that I don't think matters, because all of the text is white in the FNAF World, so I don't think the text font, the font color matters. But I think it's interesting how Scott decided to give Glitch Bear specifically, and the eyes, I guess, specifically yellowish, light yellowish eyes instead of white that Fredbearplush has. Kind of making me think that they are not the same. Like, at least that maybe it could mean that it's not the same entity as the Fredbearplush.
Personally, yeah, I would say
it's just a theory.
I would say I get you. I would say in response to that, it's kind of like, so there's a weird, interesting thing about Glitch Bear. I personally think they are the same entity, but there is a weird thing. So what most people I don't think realize about Glitch Bear design is that he's not like a glitching like Fredbearplush necessarily. He's a glitching version. So when FNAF World originally released, FNAF World actually had like a very different aesthetic from
the 8-bit.
from yeah, it was 8-bit. And this was actually, I'll put it in the chat. This was Fredbear's original design, and you can see that's actually just like a non-glitchy version of
Yeah.
Glitch Bear.
Looks like
So
the
Glitch
Fredbear
Bear,
plush to me.
they're not exactly the same. They're
Like the buttons even
this
are
was just
different
meant to
in the Fredbearplush.
well, the thing is that this is specifically just meant to be like Adventure Fredbear, but 8-bit.
Yeah, it
This
just
wasn't meant to be specifically a plush. Mind you, I do believe they're the same entity, but I just wanted to point this out because it's like
Fair.
I don't know.
Yeah,
People seem to
that's
forget
cool.
that.
I never thought that before. I definitely think it's meant to be the same character because the very start of the game is meant to follow up on FNAF 4. You start in a black void with someone talking to you, being like, blah 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 blah. I will put you back together, and at the very end they reiterate same lines from FNAF 4's ending. And to me, it's like Scott chose to tie FNAF World to FNAF 4. What would be the reason for that? Because FNAF 4 was confusing, and he wanted to clarify what was going on. And the two central things that you could both speaking to the bite victim. And then really in the game, it's the plush bear character speaking to the bite victim again. And the whole thing of the clock path is that the glitch bear is telling you to help set breadcrumbs for him, the bite victim, to find. So it seems the game was trying to clarify the identity of the two characters, so they were basically clear up the whole game by extension.
Yeah.
But also,
if
I'll quickly finish so you can speak. Is that it's very weird if that's the is a new character, which would make it redundant because now you don't really solve anything. And then so I feel like the point is that it's meant to clarify who these characters are, which I think you can boil it down to. Glitch Bear oversees Happiest Day. He's the one trying to get set up for the bite victim, Golden Freddy. Therefore, they're the puppet. And since Happiest Day is for the bite victim, therefore he's Golden Freddy. I think it's just meant to be as simple as that.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like so yeah, like Spring said, like I do definitely think Yellow Eyes and Glitch Bear are the same entity because like
They're
they
the
literally
same
have the same
eyes.
eyes. But the fact that yeah, no, so Draz brought this up too. It's like in this game, the beginning where we see the yellow eyes, we also start in like a void type area, like how FNAF 4 ended, and then the eyes, they say the same thing to us that the Fredbearplush said, and it seems like this.
We don't know
exactly-
if that
this is-
Fredbearplush
this
said.
is
We are
making
assuming
good
that
on the
Fredbearplush
promise.
said it.
You're good.
Well, yeah, but or just I guess the final speaker.
Yeah.
Hear me. Hold on. This
You
is
know,
for
it
this
seems
is
like
for
this-
me. Hold on. Just so I know where everyone's at. Can we just go around and say who we think the plush, the eyes, and then Glitch Bear are?
I think it's all Charlie.
Just so I know where everyone's at. I'm getting confused.
I cannot say because we haven't finished talking about all the things that connects to FNAF World.
Oh.
So
There's some things
I think the thing, Swing, is that a lot of us already have like.
I just want to know.
I think a lot of us already have like a full idea on what we think these are.
Yeah.
So having everyone kind of list out, I think is XYZ, would
well, we can always start. I will say my opinion later.
I guess faster into the conversation.
I say something
I
actually.
don't know. I was literally just curious. I just wanted to know.
So there is actually specific things that I wanted to. I said this actually last stream, I think, but there are some little points in FNAF 2 and FNAF 3 that seem to indicate the plush bear might be the puppet. Even FNAF 4 has like indications, like it's a little tiny thing, but the eyes, the way they move, it reminds me of FNAF World and how the eyes move like left and right, like slowly, and it has like these little square eyes.
You mean with like Phantom Puppet or?
Phantom Puppet. I think there's even like FNAF 2 where the puppet follows you around in the dream, and then there's FNAF 4 with the plush bear eyes moving.
Yeah, and Ralph says that the puppet's always thinking and it can go anywhere.
And where does the plush bear and the eyes originate in, like in FNAF 4 at the end? Darkness.
Okay, let me just say something. So, someone here said that, well, it doesn't matter really. So basically, I think, so, Crying Child sees Fredbear when he hears someone talking to him, the final speaker. So, what if that's why he imagines this final speaker to look like Fredbear? But we can see that it is actually not the Fredbearplush because the eyes are different color. Just a theory. Just an idea.
Yeah, for me, here's part of the reason I'm kind of inclined to believe, like, whoever this is, the spooky eyes and the final speaker, I feel like the reason why I feel like they would be the Fredbear plush in the context, it's just like, it's not even, like I did say, like, I did, like, mention, that, the glitch bear isn't like a glitch version of Fredbear plush, but I still feel like the specific association of this final speaker, this person who's the spooky eyes and glitch bear, like they're still connecting themselves to Fredbear imagery.
Yeah.
So it seems to me, it seems like it could definitely point to a connection with the Fredbear plush, because that's what we were talked to throughout this game. That we're being talked to another version. This game we're being talked to through Adventure Fredbear, but obviously I don't think this character is literally Fredbear. I just think they are. In both FNAF 4 and FNAF World, they're using the imagery of Fredbear as a way to communicate with us. You know what I kind of mean?
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
interesting
I'm gonna
thing
come
is,
back in a second.
so-
Okay.
Okay.
You
Okay.
tackle
All right.
your opinions for now.
Why he does that is, I think, a big thing too, because he kind of takes the image of Fredbear, is that from a narrative point for FNAF 4, is you're meant to take the character, you're meant to connect Byford and Golden Freddy, and that the character, the spirit taking the form of Plush Bear in the game and also in World, kind of ties Byford into Golden Freddy, Fredbear, even more. And I think the idea, as we talked about just briefly in the other stream, is that it's a role reversal, and that the bite victim in the game parallels the puppet's design. Black and white stripes, tear tracks, does the exact same pose.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a parallel reflex design, but in Charlotte, who's in this hypothesis, the Fredbear plush, takes the form of Fredbear, who is what later foreshadows what the bite victim becomes. So it's a role reversal, and they take the place of each other. And one thing very interesting, though, I don't think I mentioned on our stream, is if you take the crying puppet, but you gotta wonder, why is the puppet crying in that minigame? Well, kind of think about this, right? Take that puppet and put it in the place of Plush Bear in the scene, and it looks like two characters kneeling before each other. I feel like I think that's really cool. I haven't seen anyone point that out. Is you take that sprite, put it in there, and it looks like the puppet is crying before the bite victim, kneeling before him, just like the bite victim is kneeling before her.
Right,
As if you're seeing what she actually looked like in the real cutscene, though in the bite victim's mind, he just sees the Fredbear flesh.
They see each other as reflections, in a sense.
Yeah, and Charlie is crying in the scene. That would be like why the puppet's crying in the memory.
And what was Charlie doing before she died?
Crying.
Standing outside
Crying, but something I did
at
was,
a Burger King drive-through.
there was Burger King drive. That explains the foot letter.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
What the? Holy shit!
Steven just came
back.
That's what.
He's
Anyways.
he's possessed. He has Satan inside. All right, guys, grab the cross, grab the holy water.
Jeez.
We need that for William. Jesus, he needed to be
Anyways.
exorcised. There was a demon inside him.
I'm back.
Okay, now let's. I want to talk about something FNAF World that I think might connect to what I think the eyes and the glitch bear are. Maybe not the Fredbearplush. It could be, but maybe not. I'm not sure about it. But FNAF. Okay, so FNAF World. What is FNAF World? So here's my idea.
I can explain that.
Yeah, but here's my idea. So we know that FNAF World is setting up the Happiest Day, which is in some way putting and like by doing the clocks minigames, we are putting the pieces of Crying Child in theory together. Because we hear about like the eye saying that like the pieces are in place for Crying Child in theory, and all he needs to do is find them, which is what we do in FNAF 3 in theory, maybe, and also with the bugs, but the bugs we'll talk about later. So
Box.
so FNAF World most definitely is connected to Crying Child. And one thing that is connected to FNAF World is UCN, Ultimate Custom Night. We first
What?
of all,
Wait.
what?
Wait, you say UCN?
Yeah, UCN. It's connected to
Oh
FNAF
yeah,
World.
old man content. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot.
Well,
yeah.
not only that, no, not only that. That's not the point that I'm making. But yeah, Old Man Consequences does definitely connect FNAF World to UCN. But that's not the point of connection I'm looking at. I'm looking at the bounce spot of all things. Which, funny enough, was the ice in the mobile version as a joke. Which I think is funny, but I don't think it's connected.
Wait,
But
hold up.
what?
Hold up, Cheetah's gotta spit. Cheetah,
What?
please. Speak your gospel. I know you all wanted to say something.
What? Oh, I've got a lot to say about the eyes, but I'm not sure what you're referring to actually.
No, I'm waiting for you to speak. You gotta.
Give us your opinion. Give us your opinion.
On the eyes?
We're hungry for lore.
Oh, okay.
Give it.
Does anybody here think that the eyes are actually Circus Baby in FNAF World?
Okay, that's I've never heard that until
No?
today.
Oh.
Nobody?
I think there was a theory. Also,
Oh,
that
I
it's
know
connected
why.
the
Is it because of
eyes
the
from the
desk ending?
Yeah, I
It's
think.
the
Yeah, is it because of
ending.
the day? Yeah.
But I
yeah.
think the eyes are different.
The eyes are
Okay.
different. Yeah.
Aw.
You gotta trust me. On Reddit, I actually literally had this exact debate with somebody on Reddit. I'm not even joking. I can show you the comment. I will literally just show you the entire
Okay.
conversation. It's wild.
Now let's continue to what
think
I
I-
was talking about.
Oh, I was gonna say my opinion. It's okay. No, yeah, go on. You're good.
Yeah. FNAF World is one thing that FNAF World is connected to is UCN, and first of all there is Old Man Consequences which connects them, but also and the drowning ending, but also time to time we see the FNAF World enemies on the desk, which is a strange decision. Really, it's a very strange decision. But what
From FNAF
else?
3.
But what?
Is it connected to FNAF 3 as well?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely connected to FNAF 3, but I'm talking right now about what FNAF World is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and what is UCN? So, some people believe it's William's afterlife, basically, and Cassidy is tormenting him there. Or there's another theory that it is his nightmare, that in the story room in man
The room in Man 1280.
man in
Man
room
1280.
1280.
I do have something to say after this. So,
Yeah,
so
okay.
Spring, you finish, and then I can-
So the moon in what?
The moon.
I need to slow down. Okay, so the room, the man in room 1280
Could
is.
someone clip that? That was beautiful.
This is going into
1280 in the
straight
man
out of
room.
context. Okay.
The moon in Rome.
So man in room 1280 has what seems to be pointing at Yusan being a nightmare in William's head caused by the vengeful spirit, which in that case was Andrew. So and if they are not the same, if it's not the same universe, and then that means that then Yusan is so basically what I'm saying, that Yusan might be a nightmare caused by Cassidy in William's mind after FNAF 6, and if FNAF Yusan is connected to FNAF World, what if FNAF World is something of a dream world for Cece, and was created by Cassidy, and it is Cassidy who is talking. It is Cassidy who is the Ice and the Glitch Bear, and she is trying to help set up the happiest day for crying child, just helping the puppet and helping herself basically, and if you think about it, the FNAF World map does kind of look like a brain. It's a bit stretchy, but it could look like a brain if you think about it.
Looks like my brain.
And
I'll be right back.
one thing I thought about just as we started this stream is how in FNAF movie we see that the kids are in this dream realm, so they have their own dream realm. In a way, where they so, which is a forest, which is interesting. So FNAF World has forests, but what if FNAF World is a dream realm for crying child? It's created for crying child, or crying child created it for himself.
That works with the memory shit I said earlier.
And Cassidy is either in her own way, or maybe they share Golden Freddy and that's why they have this connection, who knows, or maybe she is Fredbearplush and that's how they have the connection, but somehow Cassidy has a connection to crying child, and she in his dream realm trying to help him put the pieces in place for the happiest day in a way.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah, I think I'm done, but yeah, I think it also nicely connects to so like some people can like argue that well, crying child is dead, so he could not be dreaming like William, while William is alive and has a nightmare of Hussein. But in FNAF, in the FNAF movie, we see this MCI in dreams, in this dream realm, which use Michael's dream realm, but who says they don't have their own dream realm like thing, in a way, through which they can contact some people. And I just realized
on some Freddy Krueger stuff.
I just realized. The novels again, they have this when Carlton is injected with Remnant, he sees something of a dream. He is in this dream realm, Remnant realm,
the Remnant plane,
I guess, okay, where the kids are talking to each other, and which also connected to Happiest Day and putting the pieces together, because Michael Brooks is trying to put the pieces back together to bring his friends back okay, as I said, I just realized that, and I like this theory even more now, that FNAF World is a dream realm for crying child's dream realm.
I love when Spring has like these revelations like mid-stream.
Can I say something?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Wait. After me. What the fuck was I about to talk about? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Nope. Oh, sorry. What the heck was I about to talk about?
There you go.
The room and man. That's what.
There we go. The room and the moon on Rome, or sorry.
I'm back.
1280 in the man room.
Basically, with the I think. Oh yeah, it was about the Golden Freddy and Bite Victim. I forgot where I saw this, but someone and you brought up all these things, and they are weirdly connected, and I can't deny that. But what's strange is that they seem to, not in every instance, but in some instances, they seem to replace each other. And so someone came up with the theory that the Golden Freddy kid, at least in the movie and the novels, is a manifestation of the crying child, because in the drawing his Blondie is what I call him. His head is pasted over what is speculated to be Garrett's. We don't know for certain, but it's brought up. But yeah, someone brought up that idea that essentially Garrett and somehow like created this kid for his vessel because he can't like reach out himself. Kinda. I don't know.
Yeah, people have connected that to because Grant.
It was
I think-
FNAF. That's who it was.
Yeah. Well, also, I want to plug
Well,
my friend Sir Cypher here. He also mentioned that. No, yeah, but I know you're talking about the drawing. Some people think it's kind of like so. In the story of the new kid, we have this kid Kelsey who seems to
Yeah,
be like
I was.
of
Yeah, perfect.
whoever is in the Golden Freddy suit, because the kid who's actually in the Golden Freddy suit is this kid with curly black hair.
His curly black hair. Yeah,
But
Tyler.
yeah. But the person but the person who's like they're manifesting as is this blonde haired kid, and the fact that like the kid who plays the golden Freddy kid in the film, he was specifically like had to dye his hair blonde.
Had to dye his hair. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like they're taking like the Kelsey situation combined with like the kid in the drawing having like the blonde haired kid taped over his face.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are thinking that it could be a similar situation to that.
So like the
it's
blonde
so
kid is not
weird.
the real Golden Freddy kid, it's actually
Yeah,
a bifid.
It's just like a manifestation. Yeah.
The thing is,
it's
like,
like
I think that's a
like
good
Kelsey's
theory.
suit.
It's just that, like, why would the intro be so misleading? Because the intro, I think, is unique. That he's the only kid who's not lured.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, that's true, right? They always
He's also the most aggressive.
they always single him out in the trailer. I mean, the intro. But why would he not be a real kid? Wouldn't that be misleading?
That's another thing. Also,
Unless-
that's a good point, which is why I don't believe the theory.
Yeah.
But also, why is he even like lured differently, killed differently aside? Why is he the most aggressive? That makes me think that it's Garrett trying to personally reach out to Mike, because that's why this particular one is being aggressive, because it's me, I'm trying to get to you, but he's not listening, you know.
Unless the only I could think of is that the intro minigame could represent memories in a way, so you're seeing from a distorted version of it.
That's also true. It's a good
But
point.
I just don't seem to indicate that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
I mean,
a weird, it's a reach. But I don't know. It was a fun idea for a little bit,
Yeah, it is. It's a fun idea just because like
and it does
is
answer
very,
some unanswered
It's
questions.
very weird that the kid has like the face taped over him.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's the thing that's
so
weird to me. It's like,
That
why?
kind of gets me. For
It's
me,
like,
it's
why?
like,
Why that?
I mean, maybe Draz, you're not gonna like this, but honestly, maybe it's a freaking golden both situation, or
Oh.
maybe it's
Rocky territory. Oh, he's deafened. He didn't hear that.
I'm back.
Nice.
Hold on,
We were
Draz. Did
talking
you hear
about
that?
anything?
Which part?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never
I
mind.
heard most. I heard most of it. Just like what was the last part?
Golden,
No, I was
golden
just saying-
both.
It's all good.
I said it also could be a golden both situation, but I said you weren't gonna like that, so I was like,
Oh,
so I was like,
I think that's definitely not happening.
All right, guys.
Anyways.
It is on my time. It is 8 p.m.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I have to leave.
Thanks for
Okay.
being here, dude.
Yeah, but I
Alright.
will definitely. This was a fantastic stream. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go through all the subjects,
It
but
wasn't
I'm
as
sure you guys
fantastic
will.
because it was lagging at the beginning, and so I
Yeah,
had to
we had
turn
technical
off some
difficulties
things.
at the start, but it was
was
lovely. I
a-
love talking with
it
you
was a-
guys.
it was a rough start. Yeah, no, it was great talking to you though. I'll send you
All right,
that.
I'll
I'll
see you
send that-
guys.
Send you that comment thread.
Oh yeah, send me
Don't
that
let the
thread.
nightmare
Yeah.
bite.
I won't. I'll see you all in the next stream. All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
Micah. See ya.
All right. You have a good night, guys.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so-
Can I explain my FNAF World deal?
Okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna try to explain it a little bit, but there is something interesting about FNAF World, and it's the first lines that said like, "This is a safe place." Like originally back then, some of us
Again.
thought maybe the FNAF World could be like representing like it's a safe space of heaven or whatever, or a space for ghosts to live in peacefully without distractions or whatever.
Again, like
But
a
then it
dream realm
says-
or a remnant plane.
Right, something like that, and I think it's a possibility that's like it's a safe place with mind in a sense, but then something has gone wrong. Like, let's say all the things that the bite victim had, like, as quote unquote memories, are gone. And they say something else. I won't let the same thing happen to you. What does that exactly mean? If this is before the let's say this is after the so-called, I don't know if you guys believe in molten MCI, but I'll just cancel that. But the idea is that maybe this is during when the kids are being like melted down into pieces of soul juice, okay, remnant. I know, soul juice, whatever.
What if Cassidy
But,
is shattered and she doesn't want crying child to remain shattered?
I think
it's possible, yeah.
I think the thing about it being what MCI is that it's a case of how was that intended when the game came out. It's a good fear in terms of like there's like fears like that where it's like it's very well evidenced. They make sense in the modern context, but when you go back then, how do you get that? Because to me, the way I think that is that FNAF World has no set place in time. It's throughout a period of time, and so that cutscene doesn't have to be after the bite. It could be before the bite when the MCI happened, and that is the puppet arriving, which she does and gives life. She is there because of the MCI. That's why something has gone very wrong. Now I am here, and then she gives life. But for one particular kid, she's like, I'm going to do something special for you. I'm not letting the same happen to you.
Do you think Charlie gave her the task to help the bite victim? Because
gave who the task?
Cassidy?
I don't think Cassidy's involved at all.
Well, didn't you say that Cassidy might be like the eyes?
No, that wasn't me. I think that was Spring.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's Charlie, the bite victim.
Something interesting I just want to bring up really, really quick. There's something about like because like in FNAF World, like whatever plane or existence this is, which it seems like it's some type of brain, because I feel like, you know, if you think about it in the context of FNAF World and UCN, I'm just gonna bring it back to this really quick. You know, if FNAF World, if the map is meant to look like a brain, and this game is kind of like in some type of mindscape or something like that, and it's kind of in a way it would show that, like, you know, UCN is also a nightmare, because it's like, but like, you know, FNAF World, it has to do with the bite victim's mind, it's his memories, it all has to do with him. In the context of Random 1280, that's all in William's mind. But in both games, there's the Old Man Consequences minigame, where we know that, like, for things of FNAF World, we know that actually leads to a version of Happiest Day, which is actually on the pinboard, the drowning ending.
Yep.
So it seems like, what if this is some type of dream or mindscape, whatever, memory realm, whatever you want to call it, it's accessed specifically like through these types of places, like someone's mind or something like that. So there's that.
Or in their soul, because like.
Yeah, I guess in their soul, because soul can technically also mean mind. Like that's actually like it can mean like a spirit's mind as well, or like just someone else's mind, like a psyche. So yeah.
So I decided to look something up about the brain, and apparently it has 3 layers. I don't know if that will mean anything, just in case. 3 layers.
You mean like the subtunnels?
Pretty much, yeah.
Something that actually reminds me is, in what we see of Happiest Days, is that you are basically bound to the soul in a sense, because what happens in the Four Closet is Carlton gets injected with Revenant. His soul is like his body is now connected to the souls of the MCI, because that's their Revenant he's being injected with. And so when he's in that realm, he's connected to the souls, and that's how he's able to be there to see them and help them. Michael was obviously amalgamated with them, so that's why he's connected. And so I feel like when we see like a soul like giving a Happiest Day put back together in that way, I feel like that means the person involved that's doing it is putting the memories together. But to do that, you have to be bound to that character, to that soul. And I feel like in you kind of see that somewhat like in the Frights books, where like Jake connects himself to the soul of Andrew, I think,
Yeah.
I think not. So I haven't. I think so. He tries to sing into his memories, and he's able to sing to other people's memories, connect to the soul. So I
One
feel like
thing
what was going on
Jake
in
does to
FNAF
Andrew
World.
is try to share his memory to Andrew to help Andrew move on by sharing
Yeah.
Jake's memory.
Yeah, and when he does in the ball pit, he goes into all these people's memories and he alters them. So and puts their soul at rest. It's a part of the soul that they're entering. So I feel like what happens in FNAF World and FNAF 3 is the puppet is in a sense attached to and is a part of Golden Freddy's soul in the same way other characters were, and is orchestrating, helping them put themselves back together. I feel like that's what's going on. That's why the puppet itself is soul-bound to the Golden Freddy kid.
Something I should point out is the Fred. So I've said it before, but the Fredbearplush was not there with the bite victim. I guess in the first few nights, not even like night 4, night 5. So one thing I wanted to address is maybe him speaking in the mind is somewhat correlated with FNAF World in a sense, because if this is a dream space, then whoever's talking to the bite victim is talking in his mind. Whether that be the puppet or whatever.
Could be possible.
Yeah, I think so. I think the bite victim is being guided to put his memories back together, and that frees his friends in the process. That's how I think.
Because there's the I was gonna bring this up in my Plushbear video too. There's the source. There's in the FNAF World Update 2 teaser, I believe. You go into the source code, or you open it in a notepad, and you can actually find. Yeah, he put the pieces back together in the. If you open it up in notepad and
Well, I would
and,
assume the
which is
player
actually
put the
very-
pieces back together, or Crying Child put the pieces back together.
Yeah, I think
I think it's the crying child, because the he and him was always a reference to the crying child in FNAF World.
The pieces are in place. All you have to do is find them.
Like the breadcrumbs we leave and whatnot. So.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
I think the idea is
confirming
that the bite victim is soul-bound in a shadow victim-like sense to all 5 kids. And the only way for them to be freed is for them to be... It's what you see in the games, where Golden Freddy has to be guided like Michael Brooks was in the Fort Closet, and putting them all back together by freeing them. And by doing that, he's also putting his own memories back together. So that's why all the mini games in FNAF World are the setup mini games, not the final one. Because you can't set up that mini game. Bifin can't set that mini game up for himself. The way he has to be freed is he has to be guided to putting his memories back together to pieces, which then frees all his friends who are a part attached to his memories. So when he frees them, they all appear at the party, and it allows for the puppet to finish it all off by giving the cake, and it frees everyone.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna maybe, since we're the same amount of people that were last time, actually the same people that were last time, I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna
the original Peaches.
I'm gonna try to see if it won't lag now, that if I put the same all the things that we did that we had. You know?
Even the visuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, the visuals.
Get back, hold on.
Pretty soon I gotta get started doing dishes, so at 8:30 I'll probably leave.
Okay. When is 8:30 for you?
It's 8:09 right now for me.
It's 5:09 for me. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I think we should finish about soon.
Alrighty.
Maybe by that time, I think. Now let me just fix things. And put you here. Okay. Now, okay, maybe it lags. I'm not sure. It might be lagging, because it kind of looks like it's lags on OBS here. I'm not sure. But we need to wait to see if it lags on the stream.
Correlated with FNAF World in a sense, because if this is a dream space, then whoever's talking to the bite victim is talking in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean,
sound like a teenager still.
What?
I sound like a teenager still.
I was gonna bring something closer video too. There's the sword. There's in the FNAF World Update.
I unmute myself and everyone's quiet.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're having a breath holding contest.
We can
Ready,
actually do
Caleb?
that.
Yep. No muting your mics. Everybody ready?
I gotta go talk to someone.
Breath holding contests are always so interesting for the viewers.
Can you tell?
Hey, no, weak. No, what do you call it? We still didn't hit the peak of all theorizing.
Really?
The peak.
We didn't still hit the peak of all theorizing, which is all the bot theories that are on this clipboard.
The bot theories.
Yeah, we got bots, and also we got the logbook.
Oh.
We didn't really touch the logbook that much at all, honestly.
Oh, you mean like Mike bot and stuff? Ew.
No, that's fantasy.
But on the AC, I know what like.
You were holding your breath the whole time?
I started holding it when you started holding it.
I let mine out like a whole minute ago. Jesus.
we gotta go through my victim before Drazarus gets back.
Okay, I think the stream up is about to catch up. But let me see if it lags.
Lag.
Or get doing. So, I'm at 8:30. I'll probably leave. Okay.
I think it does like when
for you.
maybe.
It's 8:09 right now for me.
It's just changing over for me.
It's 9 for. Okay,
Why do I still sound dumb?
Isn't that a good thing? Do you want to sound like an old man or what?
I mean, I do have a rough voice at times, but that's different.
I think it might be lagging. Is the stream lagging or chat for anybody else? Now that I put everything as it was in room. I think it might not. I think it's pretty good. Does anybody? Not the bottom again. I'm talking about the stream. What do y'all think? Is getting better? Is
Getting better.
Is the stream looking good? Is the stream looking good?
Oh.
Damn you, agony.
I think the visuals just kill it, because it's starting to lag for me again. Yeah, I think genuinely, I think it's just the visuals. I think we're just gonna have to bite the bullet.
Strange. Let me see again if it lags.
Because I asked earlier when it was lagging, I asked a friend.
Yeah, it is lagging. Okay, well, I guess we give up. I guess we give up. Then.
The glitch is one.
The glitch is
In the glitch.
Oh jeez.
There's a source code between zeros. So you
That song is actually named after me.
falling down. Yeah, that is a very good song.
That song is named after me, so it's automatically peak.
Okay, I'm gonna put everything back together. I'm gonna put the pieces back together
He's gotta
as
put
they
the
were.
pieces together.
We won't let
The
the same
lag
thing
back
happen to
together.
your stream.
Yeah.
It was difficult.
Here we go. Anyways, shall we continue before we'll have to end the stream? Oh, shall we
let's hear
end the
some more.
stream and talk about everything else again tomorrow, next stream?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, next stream, I meant.
Ow, ow.
What do we have left? We have.
Okay, so
all
we
the
have
bots.
the green strings and the
And-
blue strings left.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood kids.
Oh yeah, the neighborhood kids and the DCI and whatnot.
We can
Oh,
talk, I
and
guess, about Mike Victim and leave the Happiest Day and Golden Freddy for the next time.
I suppose so.
Wait, did I say Mike MCI? I meant Mike
What?
Bot.
No. You said Mike Victim, which is
Okay. I thought I maybe said Mike MCI. That would be strange. But okay.
Mike MCI.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the bot theory. So in the novels we have Charlie Bot. So people theorize, what if kind child dies and the way he's put back together is by William as a bot. So we have Mike Bot theory because Michael didn't die. We know that now that it's probably because of Remnant, but people theorize that he's a robot, so that's why he doesn't die. But then, why does he turn purple if he does? If he, if he's
So
a robot?
robot within robot, baby.
Yeah. So,
Cheetah.
does
Cheetah.
anybody have anything to say against or for Mike
Maybe.
MCI?
Stop
Cheetah,
talking.
it's your
Wait,
time.
MCI, Mike
You're
Victim.
stealing all the good points that I have for Mike Victim.
Wait,
Cheetah,
I'm
it's
gonna
Oh,
return.
no.
It's your time. It's your time.
Oh man, I would hate to give away all the great points I've got for Mike Victim, but
Oh god.
here's how I'll start. Look, what's that over there?
Quick, grab your guns.
Get him.
No, it's locked.
Get him! Shoot him! Quick, get him!
Okay, looks like I'm stuck here. So here's okay. FNAF 4 is all about the crying child, right?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, I'm back. We'll have to end stream very soon, so let's
Really?
quickly. Yeah.
We're just getting to the great part.
Well, I mean, we can leave
Can't
Michael MCI for the. Oh yeah, again MCI, Michael Victim for the next
I guess
time.
we'll have to leave it for next time.
Oh man.
Well, I mean,
I
we have
played
a
these
few
games
minutes, like 2
before.
minutes maybe, to talk about it, if that's enough.
No.
That
That's not enough.
that
Okay,
no, we
well-
don't have enough. Nope.
Okay,
We
fine.
need a whole
Let's talk
stream.
about it next time then. So we will
We need
have.
a whole stream to talk about it.
Okay, so basically we'll
had my
have
gun on
only. So we talk about everything except Crying Child's fate, basically. It seems, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about the box, but I mean, the box is the pieces put together, really. So
Oh, that's
it.
that'll be a quick little topic right here, right? How about
Yeah.
so Scott said what's inside the box?
Is the
It's
pieces put together.
put together.
But also he said that
So-
he had an idea for it, and then he just kind of abandoned the idea.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the interesting thing about the box is that
You might be right.
Scott said Scott did like admit that like the context of the box has changed over the years. So I feel like definitely like at the time of FNAF World, it's like that was the pieces put together. That's what he said.
Oh,
At the same
yeah.
time, it's also like he later on in 2018 when he was having an interview with Dawko, he said that the context of that box have changed over the years. And
Man,
then, of
when
course, we have the
When he
kind
said
of-
that, my heart sank.
yeah, and then obviously we have the stream the interview with him with Dawko this year or not this year, dang, last year.
Wow.
For the anniversary, and he took the box and he said regarding it, I believe if I remember correctly, people make jokes about it and say, oh, you just forgot, but it's like, no, that's not what he said. What he said was this. Basically what it came down to was he has these very specific like strings of things that connect to each other, like one like these certain directions that they can go. And when it came down to the box, it was just a scenario.
Wait,
of
you said
him
strings
basically
that
going,
can go in many directions? Pinboard?
Yeah, yeah.
Pinboard is in the box, confirmed?
Oh my gosh. The
It
answer was
wouldn't
right in
fit.
front of us.
It's too big.
It's too big.
Imagine that just being the answer. Like in the FNAF 4 movie, we see Michael opening up the box and he pulls up a pinboard with all the.
If that happens, in the
connected.
FNAF movie,
I will cry.
No,
Oh, man.
I will
the
cry.
box is Lemon. It's Lemon.
Oh my goodness. No, that'd be funny though. But yeah, it kind of just came down to a situation with the box where it was like the direction that the story has gone in. It kind of seems like it's not leading towards whatever was like whatever is currently or was in the box.
yeah.
And so it's kind of just like a strand that he just kind of like let go. It seems like that's kind of like the vibe I got from it from what he said.
Yeah.
I know I probably butchered what he actually said, but I think that was like kind of the general idea. So
No, that's what he said. That's basically what he said.
so there's that with the box. It's just yeah, like what could the contents have been? Like what could have been the contents? Like honestly, that is the thing that kind of throws me through a loop. Is like it's the contents have changed.
I think it's
So it's
probably
just
like
like-
Happiest Day or something like that.
What is it?
Yeah,
I would say that.
figuratively.
I would have said that like back in 2016, 2015, because that seemed like that was really what he was going for. But then with him like mentioning like several years later after that, mentioning that the context have changed, it's like, well, dang, like I don't even know like what it is now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, it's just a weird mystery that we'll probably never get a full answer to, and that kind of sucks. But it's also kind of, I don't know. It's kind of relieving, but it also kind of stinks that we'll like never get a full answer probably.
Yeah, yeah, but one thing we should not forget to mention is that in FNAF World, outside of the mine area, is an opened version of the box.
Oh, yes, that was in the files too.
Very strange. So for some reason, that speaks
So-
to me in a weird way.
So FNAF World
Yeah,
is
'cause I
somehow
believe-
opened the box. So in a way, maybe that's
That's a
kind
great
of
way to interpret
pointing
it.
at it containing the Happiest Day. Like FNAF
Yeah.
World is all about putting the pieces back together, and what's inside the box, the pieces put together. So. And FNAF 2
yeah,
update is, and the Halloween update is, the pieces he put them back, he put them together. So
Yeah. So it's kind of like you could just for like narrative sake and for like your own like I don't know satisfaction. It's like, oh, FNAF World is literally all about him putting the pieces back together. You know, the final, like you said, Spring, the final source code hint is saying he put the pieces back together. He put the pieces back together. Now the box is open because he put them back together. So it's like it's open. It's complete. It's full circle. So
yeah, but then